Welcome to the Windy City Bender Podcast with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, and Jarom.
All right, yeah, hey, welcome, guys. This is the Windy City Benders Podcast.
Yeah, Numero Uno.
Numero Uno. How about it?
How about it, huh?
How about it? My name's Poetzy.
I am Nolly.
And I'm Jarom.
We're happy to have you along here, folks. We're happy to have you along. It's gonna be a fun one. We're pretty excited about this. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, we're shooting for the stars right now, so we hope that we don't get crushed on our way down.
Yeah, so a little about the show. We're Windy City Bender Podcast, as we said. And, just a couple of boys, beer leaguers, hanging out. A couple of cha boys. But just always talking hockey, listen to a hockey podcast. So we figured, hey, why not give it a shot?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking mostly Hawks. This is a Hawk-centric podcast, you know. Yeah. I mean, but we are gonna talk NHL too. So got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yep.
So a little bit more of the background, because you said we're cha, a little bit of cha guys.
Couple of cha boys.
Couple of cha guys.
One lonesome non-cha boy.
Just wanted to clarify that for some people.
Yeah, we get it. You went to Europe, so.
I did. I went to Europe, and Vito didn't, so.
All right, so like we said, it's mostly going to be Hawks talk for most of the show, so might as well just get her started and talk about the season. How do you boys feel about it?
So you want to do a quick recap of what happened?
I mean, I don't know. I'm still pretty salty about it, so I feel like I'm going to be a bit biased.
We'll see. Regular season ended. We finished with a record of 50-23-9. Good for 109 points. Win our division.
And conference.
So number one team out west. And then proceed to get
swept.
Annihilated.
Are they going to do a pathetic Central Division champion banner raising on opening night next year? Because I don't think anybody
typical
wants to see
Washington Capitals style.
I don't think anybody wants to see that. Or are they just going to be like, hey, wait.
Yeah.
Is there a new thing up there?
I think, if I were them and the way Bowman was talking, the rumor how McDonough's feeling, I think it's just going to appear.
Yeah, I think that's that's the best.
If they even do it.
Pity the banner up there.
Well, I think they kind of have to.
Yeah.
You work all that hard, I'd want to see it up there, even though
I think they've been just throwing the little year banner underneath the Central Division.
Yeah, don't make like a whole new banner, just do a little strip. Yeah.
But regular season, I mean, even though they were 50-23-9, I mean, and finished first in the West, it didn't feel like that.
It was a slow start.
I was gonna say, was this the Hawks team that actually was good, or were they more of just taking advantage of a weak conference this year?
I wouldn't say weak conference, because I mean they still had Central Division. I mean as much as I hate the Minnesota Wild, I think they suck. I mean, they had a good year.
Yeah,
but
Minnesota.
but if you look at it's Minnesota,
St.
Chicago,
Louis,
but yeah, you can argue St. Louis, but then.
Nashville too, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean,
shut up.
The regular season.
Just saying.
Shut up.
The regular
Not
season,
ready.
Nashville, no, they snuck in that last playoff spot.
I disagree.
You think?
They almost beat the Blues out for that spot in the third.
If it wasn't for the Blues being the best team going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they got kind of like Ranger situation. They just strong division.
Yeah.
Got a little bumped.
This messed up playoff format really screwed them a little bit.
Which
it screwed them. They're in the second round. They're undefeated.
Screwed the Hawks. That's
really
for sure.
screwed them. So yeah, it was a slow start, I think. And then Crow goes down with the random appendicitis. Eric Szymborski comes in, saves the day for the Hawks against Philadelphia. Becomes an overnight sensation.
The fact that you know his name, I don't even
Eric
know his
Szymborski.
name. I just know it's the
Come
Philadelphia
on.
goalie.
The two-time NHL, 2 career games. Come on.
He got on the ice once. They almost dropped the puck before they were like,
you gotta
probably
go.
not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I wonder how many guys have played 2 career games for 2 different teams in one season.
Yeah.
That's pretty legit.
Select group.
Yeah.
It's a select group. I don't know if you should feel proud about that or upset, but I'd be proud.
Other than the slow start, though, I mean, they went 3-3-4 in their last 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
After a run of 18-3-1, 35 out of a possible 42 points from February 2nd to March 23rd. That's sick.
That is sick, but at the same time, is it like the typical, like, oh, we got first in the West, we can kind of lean back now?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
no matter what, we're not going anywhere.
I don't think they were leaning back. I think with Q's mindset, he still wants them going out. I mean, they rested players, but we, in theory, should, when we're resting one guy, it should be next man up kind of situation, you know?
But that's when the Hawks young guys, it's their turn to shine, and I feel like they just didn't shine.
Yeah.
See, the thing with me is, during that run, they beat teams like Edmonton. They beat teams like Minnesota, St. Louis,
run?
that 18-3-1.
Okay.
And then Pittsburgh, they beat them twice.
Yeah.
Montreal.
And they destroyed Pittsburgh.
They destroyed
Yeah.
Pittsburgh in one of them. And, I mean, it was sick what they were doing. And it's with these, we had 6 rookies that, you know.
There's a couple coming up and down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt going into the end of the season like maybe
Even after the 3 and 4 to end it?
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
okay.
going into that coasting,
Okay.
when you got these rookies, is really going to screw you up. Maybe you can get away with that last year when
Or
your
the
only
year
rookie
before.
was really Panarin.
Or the year before,
Yeah,
too.
I mean, literally any year before this year when we didn't have like 6 or 7 rookies.
When a good chunk of your offense is rookie now.
Or no.
Or second-year player.
And, I mean, when they do that, they go into the playoffs expecting the top guys to fucking just tear it up.
Right.
Which did not happen this year.
No.
Which, I mean, looking
Caves
at it,
didn't
I mean...
turn on until what, February?
But, I mean, even in the playoffs, we got it right here. Kane, a goal and an assist. Tays, goal and an assist. Seabrook, nothing. Keith, 1 assist. Hossa, nothing.
Panarin an assist.
Panarin with 1 assist. Which, Hossa, no points is not in any indication of how he played at all in the playoffs.
He had like 20 shots.
He was by far,
He was the best player.
other than
Stupid.
Crawford, he was the best player in the playoffs for the Hawks. Like, it was just stupid. He just had no puck luck at all whatsoever. And, I was looking, because I was thinking, watching Panarin in the playoffs this year, I was thinking, like, what has he done in the playoffs at all? And I was surprised that last year, in the 7-game series, he actually had 7 points.
Who knew?
I had no idea. He had 2 goals, 5
I don't even
assists.
remember him scoring
No.
in that series.
Yeah, he had...
I don't remember his name being called at all.
Yeah.
No.
Either series
Yeah.
he's played in.
So then this whole 4-game series, I was just like, oh, what a joke. What a fucking
He was
wimp,
invisible.
you know? Yeah.
He was invisible this year.
Well, this is even... I've been saying this all season. The problem with that line of Kane and Panarin together is Panarin, the second he touches the puck, he's looking for Kane, and now teams are picking up on it, and I think Nashville did a good job of picking up on that too. I mean, when Nashville got that first goal, setting up the brick wall against us, I mean, that's going to be hard to beat, especially with their defense. Like, geez, Yossi, Subban.
Well, Nashville's back end.
God.
It's ridiculous what they did on offense, but how they shut the Hawks down.
Well, I
they
mean-
did it on both ends.
But I feel like, yeah, they did a great job, but at the same time, it's not that difficult to shut the Hawks down because,
Especially the way that they were playing.
I mean, they're such a one-shot, no cover for the rebound, nobody in front of the net, nobody screening Pecorine, shots right to Pecorine's chest. Like, they made it easy on Pekka.
Unless
you know?
they're playing well. Unless they're in like that 18-3-1 streak where they're crashing the net, they're getting rebounds.
But I mean, who's that guy that they have that stands in front of the net? They had Shaw. They had Bickle.
Taves only does it on power plays.
Yeah.
But
Hartman would be a great guy to do that.
Hartman would be an awesome guy for that.
Hartman would get he would draw a lot of penalties out.
He's turning into one of those. He's turning into one of Q's guys that he doesn't like, though.
Yeah, I know. Just because he runs his mouth too much.
Yeah. But yeah, he loves Shaw.
He's a Shaw, but I think a much better Shaw.
Oh yeah, way more offensively skilled, I think.
It doesn't help for the Hawks that they literally played behind the 8 ball the entire series because they couldn't win a face-off to save their life.
That was a fucking joke.
To save their life. Vernon Fiddler was 70% on face-offs.
He had a
Vernon Fiddler. Vernon Fiddler, the guy that cracked up what's-his-face on Vancouver, the coach on Vancouver. He's Alain Vigneault. Remember he was making fun of somebody on Vancouver? and he made a funny face, and Vigneault lost it behind the
Oh,
bench.
yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look that up on YouTube. Vernon Fiddler, funny face. I don't know. It's hilarious.
He had a 6 celly last night for that game winner.
Probably because he didn't know that it went in. Jake Allen flopped on him.
Oh, yeah, but it was still sick.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Well,
but, yeah, fucking Taze and Anisimov are supposed to be two of the best in the game, and they're just absolute atrocious.
29%? Anisimov? 29%.
Yeah, I think...
I understand...
Game 4, I think he won 2 draws.
I understand that he might have been battling through an injury or whatever. Yeah. That's fine. Get the hell out of there, man.
Yeah, let somebody else take the draw at least.
Yeah, put Kane in there. Kane had excuse me. Kane had a better face-off percentage than he did. Kane was at 50%.
How many face-offs did he take? What, one of 2?
He took 2.
So
he was 1 and 1.
1 and 1, yeah.
It's better than 29% though, isn't it?
I mean,
you really can't.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
you made one save out of 2 shots.
All right, hey, well that's different.
I mean, it's
that's different.
I mean, I was kind of shocked to see that Taze was as high as he was at 55.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just.
I even feel that still did not see him. He felt every big key Taze face off. It was just not going in his favor at all.
I think the most upsetting one to me though is Kruger. Because Kruger's the guy that we have taken every single defensive face-off, and he's at 37.7%.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's not good.
Kruger's been a disappointment this year.
I mean, he got his contract, though.
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah. Well, he'll be on Vegas next year, apparently.
Yeah. But other than face-offs, I mean, the fucking defense was just terrible.
Yeah, look at that plus-minus there on good old TK. Keith.
-6.
-6.
That's rough. And Siebes was a -3.
A -9 between your 2 top defensemen.
Yeah. 2 top, quote unquote. I mean, everybody's saying, they're slowing down and stuff, which, I mean, yeah, I understand. But I don't feel -6 for Keith. I feel like people are just finally exposing him the way that everybody knew, well, at least I knew, he could be,
So to put it in perspective, Keith was a -6, Seabrook was a -3, TVR -4, Jalmerson -4. Brian Campbell was our best defenseman, statistically, at a -2.
Where was Oduya?
OD was a -3.
-3.
And...
Actually, technically, Michael Kempney at 0 was our best, but he played one game. He played one game at 8:51 time on ice. So
our best
basically
defenseman was Campbell, who I
league minimum 1 year deal.
Halfway through the season forgot he was even on our team.
Yeah.
What were your guys' thoughts? I'm going to revert back to the regular season on Q sitting Campbell that one game and breaking his Iron Man streak.
I thought that was a complete dick move.
Yeah,
by Quenneville.
I thought that was wrong.
And at the time, I did not think that Campbell was playing that bad enough to where he should have sat him for that game.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the other defensemen that were playing, because all season the D has just been brutal, and for times of the season, Campbell was, I thought, the best defenseman at times.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, it fluctuates for the Hawks for who's best and who's worst, but at that time, I felt like Campbell was one of the best defensemen.
423 games in a row that Brian Campbell played.
That's just stupid.
Wasn't he sat for Rosie, too?
I think so.
Let me take a look real quick. But, 423 games... That's a lot. I mean, how do you...
That's like his whole time in Florida. He didn't miss a single game, I don't believe.
I mean, he's to the point in this league where he kind of has that say of when I go, when I don't go. I don't understand. If he
not... He did in Florida for sure, but not on the Hawks when you have Jarmelson, Seabrook, and Keith in front of you, and the big Oduya and Rosie.
Can we talk about Johnny Oduya? What a bust.
Yeah.
What a bust.
That was a complete waste. Another move by Bowman that
fantastic.
Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, at
losing
the start,
picks for it.
when we first got him, I thought, okay, he hasn't played well since he left. Maybe getting back with Jalmerson starts to feel it out.
He also came back injured though.
He did.
And everybody talks about, Duya's coming back, so he's going to play with Jalmerson. Did they ever?
No, they ended up playing together.
I think the first game they did, but that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if maybe that takes some time, like more time than I guess was allotted. But
I don't see that being a factor. Like, if you have that much chemistry with a guy, you leave and come back, you should be fucking just
I know. I mean,
know each other.
And he took a week and a half. He was basically cleared, but it took a week and a half to get better before he actually played a game.
Right.
So you'd think
because they went on the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think at that point that he'd be like, okay, maybe I should start like getting in my head what's like to play with Jalmerson again or Seabrook or whoever he was.
I mean, even if they're practicing,
like
hanging out
Jesus
together.
Christ. I mean, I could figure that out. In a week.
Yeah. I don't know.
So all right, let's go back to the playoffs then.
Yeah.
So we've talked about what we thought about the Hawks, but here's the question though. Were they truly that bad this postseason, or were the Predators truly that much better, or do you think that they came in thinking, it's the last wild card team?
I think it's a bit of both.
I would say that, yeah, but also you kind of look back and watching that series, Nashville wanted it so much more. They won every puck battle. They were just all over the Hawks. I don't know if you can call it this tired or slow or whatever, but there was no want. I mean, you look at the Preds. I went through the roster. I don't think there's a single guy on that team that has a cup. The Hawks there's 6 core guys have 3 cups. There's 4 guys with 2 cups and 4 more with 1 cup. I mean, that's 14 guys with at least 1 cup on the team compared to 0.
Yeah.
And Nashville, that city, they might not show it all the time that they like hockey, but once they're in the playoffs, that place gets bumping. That they want a cup down there bad.
I went to a game there in December last year. Maybe it was November. It was Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. And it was against Philadelphia. Literally a meaningless hockey game. That was like a college atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, after they scored, it was goalie,
Yeah.
you suck. And then at the end of the periods, the PA guy would go 1 minute to go in the period, and they go, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Like, they're engaged.
You're talking about the team wanting it more than the Hawks. I think the fans kicked our asses too.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
at
that's...
United Center, it was like... It was not playoff hockey atmosphere at the United Center.
This year I went to Detroit for a game against the Leafs. I went to Nashville for a game against the Washington Capitals. And then I went to St. Louis for a game against the Jets. And obviously I've been to Chicago for plenty of games. And all 3 of those rinks, the fans are so much more engaged than any Hawks fan. The most the Hawks get is when Tommy Hawk's banging on the drum and they're saying, let's go Hawks. But when you go to Nashville, like you said, they got they start yelling Civ at the goalie after every goal. And then they keep going and they go, he shoots, he scores. Like, the whole crowd just chants. It gets you going. Like, even in the fans, especially in the playoffs, they amp it up.
Game 4, when they're chanting every goal to Crawford, it's all your fault.
Oh, yeah, they do that, yeah.
I was like, okay, that was pretty great. I'm like,
but also they do this fucking gay thing when they get a power play and they just do the fangs, and I'm just like, that's the softest thing I've ever seen in my life, man.
It's like if
good for you for being involved,
but the Sharks got a power
that.
play and they were just like,
oh yeah. Well, the fucking Blues, when they get a power play, they just shoot their arms up and forth, and I don't get it whatsoever.
Are we shooting a field goal?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shooting a field goal. That's my football knowledge.
Yeah. There you go.
There's my football knowledge.
But one of the funniest things I see when I was in St. Louis, I don't mean to get off track here, but when I was in St. Louis, they showed Patrick Star from SpongeBob on the video screen, and he was Lee, and all the fans did it back. And I almost pissed my pants. Oh my god! I was just like, ho, ho! Like, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You just don't get that at the United Center.
No, you don't get any of that. But go ahead.
Let's talk about the bomb that Nashville dropped. When the series really ended, Carrie Underwood walking out to the national anthem.
It's hard to skate around when you have a boner.
love. God bless Jim Cornelison. He's the best in the business, absolutely hands down. But the surprise Carrie Underwood coming out, wearing the Mike Fisher jersey.
Oh God! Which would have been amazing if she had a different jersey.
It would have been hilarious.
Oh, Ribeiro.
Marty Erat.
She should have wore an Underwood jersey because the whole thing when he got traded there was, Mr. Underwood.
Yeah.
Carrie made that whole trade happen and get her back home.
Yeah. But I was waiting because I've never seen her do the anthem, and I was like, oh, they got to pull her out at some time. Like, there's no way they're not going to. There's no way she's dogging me this year.
They did with Luke Bryan game.
And Luke Bryan game,
That's impressive.
But you know what?
That goes back to, I feel like, more want. Like, they're just bringing out the most that they can, you know?
They hit the jackpot, though. I thought that they pulled the...
Perfect timing for that
card too soon, though. The Carrie Underwood card. That's the uke right there. The nuke. Sorry, not the uke. The nuke. The uke. I'm thinking of a ukulele. Yeah. That's the nuke bomb right there. That's the I'm going to take you out. That's the game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, I think. That's not game 3 of the Western Conference
technically,
quarters.
I mean, if you're thinking Nashville, you're thinking you're playing the Hawks, number 1 in the Western Conference. You're up 2-0, you're coming home. You need something big to keep you going.
But do you get that effect ever again, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? It'd be their first ever Stanley Cup Final, and you throw Carrie Underwood out there? I mean, they're going to be buzzing.
That's true. That's true. I was thinking more like this round. Could she come back this round and have the same effect?
No, I don't think.
I think they'll hold off. Yeah,
I don't think they need it. They don't even need to go big. I think they went big because it was the Hawks,
which it was their Stanley Cup at the time. Yeah,
the king of the Western Conference.
Yeah, knocking the king off this
7,
throne.
8 years.
Yeah,
like that's what it was, and they were like, who knows what's gonna happen.
So she's beautiful. Let's move on.
Carrie, if you're listening,
if you're listening to a Black
we
Hawks
have an extra seat. We have an extra seat at the podcast table. If you want to come over,
I got a beautiful basement. I could throw a picture up of you if you want. I don't know.
I have one in my room.
So, going back to that series, though, I mean, the Hawks literally had no puck luck whatsoever. I mean, game 1 they lost 1-0. They hit 3 posts.
Yeah.
3 posts in a 1-0 game. One of those goes in. I mean, you get just momentum off of one goalie. You know, you never know. And I mean, even if that one of those goes in, you're up 1-0 in game 1. I mean, just saying, you're up 1-0. Mm-hmm. That they take that game. I mean, you're up 1-0 going at home, game 1. And I mean, then they get blown out 5-0 in game 2. But I mean, you're still 1-1 going to Nashville, which that game turned into a 3-2 overtime win, which the goalie interference came up. God damn it! God damn it! Yeah, which fuck if I know what goalie interference is anymore.
It's unbelievable. It's so inconsistent.
It's terrible.
The officiating in general for the playoffs this year has been awful.
Yeah,
just atrocious.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing. I truly don't.
They don't either, obviously.
Video replay is completely pointless at this point in time.
Yeah,
it's pointless.
Well, the whole coaches challenge, I was kind of not too sure about how it would turn out. And at first I was like, you know what, it's not too bad. I mean, I understand refs miss calls, like offsides and stuff, and like that's okay. I understand that. But when you're I've seen so many times this season when they call it a goal, he's clearly offsides. They show the replay.
The Minnesota game.
The Minnesota.
I mean, there's been plenty just in the playoffs alone. Excuse me. And
probably shouldn't be drinking beer on the podcast.
But yeah, it's clearly offsides. Even the announcers are just like, I mean, this is offsides. I don't know what else to tell you. And then the refs are like, no, it's still good. It's like, what's the point of? And then that team loses their timeout. Like, what is the complete point of that?
I was like the one time they're doing it, and Eddie's like, yeah, no, that's offsides, but you know what? I've been wrong every other time.
Yeah.
That was the Avalanche game when John Hayden was like 10 feet offsides.
Yeah.
He's like, this is offsides, but like, I can't tell you.
I'm
afraid now.
There's another game just recently in the playoffs, and I think it was Minnesota, St. Louis in the first round, and there was a play that was offsides, and the announcer was like, yeah, that's 100% offside, but honestly, at this point, I don't know what they're going to call anymore anyway.
Well, and then in game 4, St. Louis and Minnesota, I think it was Nino Niederreiter was driving to the net, and he stopped at the top of the crease, and the Blues defenseman pushed him into Allen, and the puck just happened to bounce off of Niederreiter and in.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and they called it goalie interference. They even reviewed it, and it still came back as goalie interference.
And then going back
what
to
is he supposed to do?
And then going back to this Crawford one, where I forget who it was in front of the
It was
net.
Arvidsson, I think.
Forsberg, I believe.
It was Forsberg,
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. He cuts straight in front of Crawford. Crawford has his position set. He's all set, ready to make the save. He flies by and throws an elbow out at Crawford, goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Crow could have thrown a glove out and made a better attempt to make a save.
Right.
But just because he was at the top of the crease and just outside the crease, and he wasn't intentionally hitting him, which he totally was.
Yeah, I know. He threw the bow out.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's...
shit.
I just, I don't get it anymore. But, I mean, then, like, going back to that again, like, you call that goalie interference, that's a 2-1 game. Chicago, late in the third, right? I mean, and then you win that, you end up winning that game, so you say you're up 2-1 going into game 4.
So, not to get away from your
you're fine.
your hypothetical, was that the turning point, though, in that series?
Yeah, I would say so.
Not the 5-0
No,
whitewash, not Carrie Underwood dropping the bomb.
Well, that was just the...
anytime.
Yeah. That was just the...
No, I think
the pre-ending.
I think the moment I realized that series was over was that penalty kill clear off the
Pecorine.
boards and Pecorine.
Yes.
Slides.
That was... That's when I was just like guaranteed it's over.
This series is over.
'Cause
I mean, you can't get that. All the
Can't
bounces
even
you
buy a
missed.
goal.
Yeah.
All the bounces you missed in the previous games,
Yeah.
and then that, which is
That was the same game that...
Yeah.
The overtime, right?
Guaranteed.
Yeah, so I mean, those two calls don't go
It's
your
like-
Guaranteed, if
bouncing
that's
call.
flip-flopped and that happens to Crawford, like, I don't know, breaks his shin or something. Like, it just, his leg sticks into the ground, his leg just snaps in half. I don't know.
He makes the save and slides into the net.
And yeah, the goal, it still counts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Eddie was saying, he's like, man, if only he was just an inch shorter.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
a goal for the Hawks.
But yeah, I mean, that's just how it was in the playoffs, too. I mean, granted, I still don't think they played to their full potential whatsoever, but...
no. And that...
saying that, they still could have won.
Yeah.
They still could have won. Just have one bounce go their way. They still could have won.
That overtime in Game 3 was pathetic from the Hawks. They had 4 shots on net, I think. No, it was 5. 5 shots on net. 2 came from the boards on the goal line.
Yeah.
2 of them came from the boards on the goal line, and 2 came from
Hey,
Hossa.
Patty Kane, it ain't 2010 anymore.
Yeah, I
Figure
know.
it out.
You're not facing
You mean the goal
Michael Layton.
Yeah.
Just... They just looked so tired. They looked dead. They looked like they had nothing in the tank, and Nashville was going full force.
Well,
Full force.
Played a lot of hockey.
that's another thing.
But
I mean,
they had a year. They had basically...
Not everybody World Cup.
But, I mean, guys like Hossa. Hossa really needed that
the
time
people-
off, and it showed this year. He
Like, he was
played
in
in
the
the
World
World
Cup.
But you're
Cup,
talking
I
about
know.
the people that play in the World Cup, though.
and he was our best player.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They pretty much was just preseason.
No.
Those people
no,
that said
you
they
can't
didn't play
say
it,
that.
But I'm
no.
saying no. Here's what I'm saying though is you can't say they have extra hockey because those guys did not play the preseason games. So it's harder. It's a harder game.
No, but those guys wouldn't be playing every preseason game anyway. They probably play the last 2 games.
And they
And
started
preseason
quite
is
a while
nothing
before preseason.
compared to World Cup. When they're
The
out there
World-
trying their
From
hardest.
what I remember, the World Cup started a good 2 or 3 weeks
September.
before.
It was like
Yeah.
mid-September.
Yeah.
I think it was early
It was
September.
pretty early in September.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it
remember-
was about 3 weeks long, so I mean, in the first game of the started
It's
early
only
I
October.
remember thinking that
Yeah.
they really got to get themselves into shape,
Yeah.
like earlier than they expect, because
Well,
they're not going into
I
training
should
camp; they're
say
going
this,
right into the
like,
World Cup.
Kane shouldn't use that as an excuse because USA.
No, God,
Yeah.
You know.
He only played 4 games, bud.
that was bad. That was
And
bad.
I don't even think he played. I mean, yeah, he was out there, but I don't think.
I think he
played
got like an assist. No, he got 1 goal.
Yeah.
He got 1 goal. I think it was like in the preliminary stuff. That wasn't like anything.
Oh, just
important.
like the playoffs this
Yeah.
year.
Oh. Well, all right. So let's talk about Coach Q.
Yeah,
Coach
I'll
Q,
be
is he?
So the entire season.
Yeah.
And playoffs.
You know what? I honestly can see a pretty valid, I don't know, excuse for lack of a better word.
Reason.
Yeah, I guess, for him to be a Jack Adams contender. I mean, he's
Jack
never won
Adams.
For this year.
for this year. Given the fact that he's had 6 rookies on his team, 6 rookies?
But
And
he,
rookies on a team that's expected to do
with 6
what
core
they
guys that have
did.
3 cups.
I know that, but like we said, they're getting older. They're getting slower. We had Brian Campbell and Johnny Oduya, for God's sake, on our back end.
But
They're still.
if you-
expected.
Corey Crawford was gone for a month and a half.
Okay, if you look at Q
it
for
not?
that award, look at the 3 who they posted up.
Babcock.
I know.
Babcock with 9 rookies.
I'm not saying that those guys shouldn't be in it. Absolutely, they should win it.
But I mean, just the fact, like, I don't know, he never crossed my mind. It's like this season alone, he never crossed my mind just because Babcock, Tortorella, who's seen Columbus tearing it up like that, and then who was the third
brother.
one? yeah.
Todd McClellan.
McClellan,
Oilers.
yeah, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, you can't not pick those 3.
Let's venture away real quick. What is Edmonton without Connor McDavid?
Oh,
They're nothing.
They're Montreal without Carey Price.
They are nothing.
100%
They are absolutely
Montreal
nothing.
without Carey Price.
That game yesterday, Leon Draisaitl
Tore it
yesterday.
up, yeah.
Oh my God.
4 points.
4
Goal,
points.
3 assists.
Thanks, Leon. DraftKings got me $1.75. Thanks, buddy.
Name drop.
Yeah.
DraftKings.
Back to Q. Sorry about that. I just want to say that I won some dollars in DraftKings.
All right, we got you won $5.
It was 10. Don't forget about my MLB.
Has he had expiration date with the Hawks, you think? Or
No, I
do
don't
you
think
think
so.
it was just this
No,
kind
I
of year
think-
he was dealt kind of a bad...
No,
He-
yeah.
that's not a bad way to phrase it. Kind of...
He was dealt a more difficult situation that he's been dealt with
Yes.
in the previous since 2011. I'll say.
11 and 12, probably.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, my thing with Jack Adams is from 2008 until now,
yeah,
he hasn't even been nominated.
which I feel
That's
2013,
So
2013,
probably
it was
his best bet.
absolutely.
which I don't even know who won that year.
I don't know. I mean, 2010 too. 2010, we had the best record that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
part of the front office.
Yeah, I mean, come on out, boys. We're here for you.
God.
But I mean, him and Bowman aren't getting along.
No,
They
that's
haven't gotten along.
it's
So
you know what? I,
mean,
think right now it's really starting to
Because
come
it's getting
to
to
a
the
head.
point where I think Bowman kind of realizes that he is slowly getting onto that hot seat, and he needs to stop backing down.
Who needs to step in is his father, Scotty.
Oh, his father's the
Can
one
we-
that's keeping him there.
Yeah.
just pause it real quick. 2013 Jack Adams was Paul McClellan. McElhaney.
Paul McLean?
McElhaney. Yeah, McElhaney. Paul McLean.
Oh my God, Paul
Ottawa.
McLean! That's the guy that had the doppelganger.
Yes.
sitting behind
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen of all time.
Yeah, that was great.
Me and Nolly were in the car
Oh god.
driving home from practice one day, and it was a little foggy out, and we could not stop laughing. We could not stop laughing to
Yeah,
save
that
our
was-
life. It was what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, we were laughing for a
And
while.
Skeet was driving. He was
So
pissed. His kids were great.
that year, only 48 games because of the lockout. They went 25, 17, and 6. So they had 50,
What?
56 points.
Oh, you're looking at Ottawa. I
Ottawa.
thought you were talking about
No,
the Hawks. I was
Ottawa,
like,
Ottawa.
that's
I think
They were
Well-
4th in the Northeast, and they lost in the semifinals 4-1 to Penguins.
I think that goes again, though, to the Hawks are expected to do what they did.
Yeah.
I think
But go back to 2010,
Right.
though.
No,
I mean, what the
2010,
hell?
I think, was probably his best chance.
I still think I don't know.
2013 was a better season.
No, it was a better
for
season,
sure.
yeah, and what they
Yeah.
did was unbelievable.
No.
But
I mean, they had that long streak to start the season.
But
and
when
they
you
just-
go from a team that is 1 year, they finally made the conference finals.
Toronto Maple Leafs this year.
But made the conference finals. The previous year, they were just 10 years? They were just absolute garbage.
yeah.
Then they go from the conference finals then to winning the Stanley Cup. That would probably be his best chance.
Which is
true.
basically what Todd McClellan is doing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I don't understand
and
where.
And Babcock.
Yeah.
And I guess Columbus.
Well, I'm not.
Torts.
I'm not sold on Columbus being like that
They're-
all the time.
They had a Florida year this year. The Panthers last year. They got a fluke. I don't think they make the playoffs
No.
next year.
I
think
don't know.
They made the
It-
playoffs. I don't think they're going to be as dominant as they. I don't think they're going to be a top 3 fighting for a President's Trophy.
Yeah,
like
no,
they were
I
this
mean-
year.
No.
Washington,
But I mean, I don't.
Pittsburgh.
Can Cam Atkinson continue what he did this year? I mean, he was
I think he can.
stupid good this year.
Yeah.
He's been.
Out of nowhere.
progressing each year, though.
Hey, Zach Wierenski, is he going to have a sophomore slump, or is he going to come back and be the exact same guy? I mean, with an eye patch, probably.
Oh, God.
Because gross. Did you see? His eye was red.
Did you see the guy with the shirt?
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
quick, too. That was
That
one
was
day.
really
That was one day.
He saw that and he's like, oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah, 100%.
How about, let's talk about that real quick. Some of the injuries in the playoffs this year.
Joe Thornton. Torn MCL and ACL.
And ACL. Okay.
And he's not a young guy.
No,
He's not.
I mean, he is
He's
not a young guy.
That's,
to be doing
hey,
that.
yeah, he also doesn't have a cup. And
Yeah.
that's...
And
well, maybe
now
if he was wearing a cup, he might not have a torn MCL.
I mean, yeah, he probably... That didn't make sense.
No,
but not only is
yeah,
it
soft.
cup, he doesn't have a contract right now either.
Yeah, UFA.
Sign up. No. How about Patrice, though? Sports hernia all year long. Patrice
Whole
Bergeron.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Whole
That's just
season.
stupid.
And
Do
like
you-
people at the beginning of the year were like, "Oh, he's dog shit now."
I remember.
What the hell? He's
fantasy,
terrible.
Me and you, I think, played back and forth hot potato with him in fantasy, picking him up and dropping him.
Well, yeah, because
And it was
stupid.
like-
What's his face? Claude Julien kept on dropping him off of Marchand and Pasternak's line. I was pissed.
It was just like hot potato, like, oh, he's not producing, and then
Do
he goes for
you-
a couple games.
Do you think if he would have got that fixed at the beginning of the year, they would have gone further in the playoffs?
No.
I mean, he was playing at the same level that he was in the regular season, which may be why they got kicked out. He didn't.
I
kick
think
out
That's
to
what
the
I'm
next
saying.
level.
Because he wasn't playing Patrice Bergeron
But here's
level.
also the question: if he's not playing while he's
Do
recovering,
they make the playoffs?
Do they make the playoffs?
Yeah, 'cause they
with him
barely
not
snuck
being
in.
They barely got in anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And then can't overlook Logan Couture.
Oh God.
I mean, Logan Couture.
Not
did
not
he
only
get every single tooth replaced, because that's what it looked like in that picture.
almost, yeah. But
I mean-
not only that, but he came back, wore a cage for a game, maybe two, and then
Yeah.
went back to the visor. And I seen him get blown up, and I was like, "You have got to be nuts!
Yeah.
Like you
He-
are insane."
Was it the
Cracked?
McDavid? Just
It might have been,
absolutely
yeah. I think it
destroyed
was.
the center ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. A cracked palate.
Yeah.
That sounds so painful.
I didn't even
the
know you
roof
could
of your
do
mouth
that.
is just split right down the middle. That's awful.
Yeah.
You can't, like, he said it hurt to breathe. It hurt to breathe.
And he's out there playing hockey.
Yeah.
Get up, LeBron. Nobody gives a shit about
Hey.
your cramps.
Hey. Fuck you, basketball.
I was going to say, you've never
I
had
don't like anything
cramps.
about basketball. I mean, I get cramps, but you know, it's
Yeah.
just a monthly thing.
Yeah.
So going back to Q.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got there.
Yeah.
We took
Yeah.
a...
This will be fun to re-listen to and
Yes, it is.
track it down.
Like
But-
we made a point twice saying this is a Hots podcast.
Yeah.
We're just
Half of
jumping
this
everywhere
has
right
been
now.
mostly playoffs
I
and
know.
other teams.
It's hockey, baby. But yeah, going back to Q. Daryl Sutter is still out there.
No.
2-time Stanley Cup
No
champ
way.
as a coach.
I feel like Daryl at this point is just going to be like, I'm going to go back to my farm. And I'm just going to put a
That's
piece
how
of
he
straw
talks, eh?
put a piece of straw in my mouth.
I'm gonna
and
go back to my farm.
Retire with my 2 cup rings, my sick salary. Like, I mean, he's got no reason to come to Chicago. I mean, Q has become a staple in
What do you
Chicago.
think would happen though? They can convince him to take Kitchen's spot.
Ooh.
Oh, Daryl Sutter?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like at that point, that's a Ken Hitchcock and Mike Yeo situation where Q's like, all right, this is going to be my last year, and then Sutter's going to take over.
I think
And then get
they'll-
fired before the end
Yeah,
of the year.
I think they're gonna do that kind of situation. Be a younger guy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the only situation in which Daryl Sutter comes here.
Yeah.
But looking at Q again, they got swept this year. And last year, they went down 3-1 in that series. I mean, they came back and forced Game 7, but they lost in Game 7. But they were down 3-1, and you get swept this year. I mean, it's... Sometimes I feel that if coaches stay too long,
Yeah.
the players get too complacent with the systems, and then eventually the league catches on to those systems, and the players get too friendly with the coaches, and things just don't connect as much as they used to. And that's why bringing new coaches in the middle of the year usually works out for those teams. Not always, but usually.
That's why the Hawks in Quinville have been so brilliant, though, for the past 7-8 years.
Yeah.
You know, they have the same systems, but if need be, they'll throw a curveball in there, and when that starts to work, they'll stick with that for a while, and then they'll revert back to their old systems once the other team starts to get a little complacent.
And I was thinking about the kitchen fire being fired before. I was like, no, what's that gonna do? What's that gonna do? But he's been here since 2010, July 2010. He was the one in charge of the power play.
Yeah, which the power play is garbage.
How god awful is our power play?
It's always.
So,
the only reason that the Hawks were good was because the PK was good and the power play was garbage.
Our PK wasn't even that great to start.
No.
But so
it's because we got rid of Ben Sobel.
So I mean, if you get a new power play guy in there, a new assistant in there, bring him some new things, it might jolt some life back into this team with Q. But I'm kind of with you though on Nolly, where it's like after so long,
are they just complacent?
To a point where it's like they just don't respond the same ways they used to with them.
That and kind of going back to the want factor. I mean, you bring in a coach that hasn't coached much in the NHL or hasn't coached a team to a ring. It might light a fire under some of their asses to get another ring. I mean, after 2014, when that garbage bounce went in for the Kings and the Hawks could have won back to back if they would have got that OT winner. I remember Taze said, "At the end of my career, I'm not going to remember all my rings. I'm going to remember how many rings I could have added to it."
Mm-hmm.
And looking in this season, I was like, "Where's that Taze?"
Yeah,
because they came back and won in 2015, obviously. But
hey, that Taze showed up in the final 3 minutes and 22 seconds of the fourth game.
Yeah,
against Nashville.
There is something.
Yes,
when he nipped.
There
has to be. Yeah, honestly, he didn't even look the same. Like just his face, he didn't look the same.
He said at his exit interviews this year that he's going to train differently and get back to where he was back like 4 or 5 years ago.
He didn't look as strong.
That doesn't, with how he is, Captain Serious and all that, him's training differently. I can't see him going and be like, oh, I'm going to
train harder.
I'm going to drink beer until July.
No, I don't think he means that.
But I mean, I can't see him, him doing something differently, it's going to affect him that much,
He's already trying. Yeah.
I don't know, because of how hard how serious he takes those workouts and how serious I'm hitting this, I don't know if that's affecting anything. And how serious he's taking all these off-season workouts and all that.
But is that kind of what Jarom was saying? Is it he doesn't get much time off, so he's kind of just enjoying the relaxation a little bit too longer at the end of each season.
Spend a little extra time with that.
Well, maybe that's what he means though.
Yeah.
By getting back to what he used to be 5 years ago.
I mean, I would understand, but at the same time, you're still a captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. You're Captain Series. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at. Not to compare, but look at Crosby. I mean, I guess he kind of did have a slump, Crosby, but I mean, he consistently year in or year out.
That's true. But his slumping still top 5 in the league.
Yeah,
scoring.
Exactly.
And I mean, he's number 5 instead of number 3 or number 2. That's it's him Crosby slumping.
Yeah, which is stupid.
We talked about Mike Kitchen getting fired. How about that poor bastard? Tim Dent or Ted Dent or something? Ted or Tim? The Rockford head coach. That poor bastard did nothing.
No.
He's just caught in the crossfires. I feel
there's
bad.
A fire and you're going down.
There's Bowman again.
Oh my God.
What do you expect to do when you trade your top 2 goal scorers? And Carrick and Abbott at the deadline.
Oh, and then he's got no goalies.
Yeah.
He's got 0 goals, which is another thing.
Glass.
Yeah, that's rough.
There's gonna come to a point this offseason where either Corey Crawford or Scott Darling, I think that's the next thing that we're gonna be talking about. It is now.
Sure, why not? Let's make it your podcast.
Where Crawford or Darling is gonna go. Darling said at his exit interviews, my time as a backup is done. I'm happy. If this is my last moment with the Hawks, I'm happy. But my time as a starter has just started. I am a starter from this point on. I paid my dues.
Which is the best
now it's time for me to get paid.
I wonder, though, if that was the wrong place and time for him to say that because of how angry the front office is right now. Look at how irrational, for lack of a better word, once again, Scotty Bowman is. He just fired the Rockford Itox head coach because he's just caught in the crossfires.
No, I don't. Rockford wasn't that great this year. They have a lot of good prospects down there, and I don't think they made the playoffs.
No, they
did not.
Yeah,
they were last.
They were one of the last in the league.
They were dog shit.
I was kind of thrown back by it, but then I thought about it and I was like, they were kind of dog shit when they shouldn't have
all
been.
of our top prospects but
there's still good prospects down there.
Yeah, but we keep trading all of our top guys in our draft picks for these guys that aren't panning out for
No,
us.
well, yeah. Or
And-
they're there for a year like
Yeah.
Andrew Ladd and we don't win a cup.
Right.
Here are our goalies in the system. Matt Careth. Matt Careth. He was actually a Fury guy.
Oh, really?
I'm like 99% sure that's the same guy.
OPI representative.
Yeah, no kidding. Lars Johansson.
Who?
Ivan Nalimov.
Who?
Another Russian. We are just killing it with Russians
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
Woder Peters. Woder.
Who?
His first name is Woe.
Whoa.
Peters.
Whoa.
And Matt Tompkins.
Who?
So, I mean,
Bring in Garrett Sparks.
Sparks and Carrick for
Yeah.
Seabrook and Crawford.
Conversation we had the other day.
Yeah. Looking at Crow and Darling, who would you rather see go, though?
Crow. And I know you're going to be upset with me for that.
No, because that's a weird question. Who would I rather see? Darling. What's best for the team?
Crow.
Crawford.
Is it, though?
Yes.
I think it is.
Is it?
And I'll give you
How much?
6.5 million reasons why.
Yeah, but how much is Darling going to ask for? He helped it.
He is not going to get $6.5 million.
No, but he could go for the whole, Brian Bickle home discount and get $4 million for
proven
4
enough,
years.
But you know what? And I'm really giving him benefit of the doubt here. I hope Bowman has learned about just throwing money.
Which, I mean, he
especially-
kind of has with the Andrew Shaw,
Yeah,
letting him go,
but
and Brandon
he-
Saad.
He needs to realize that I'm
And
sorry.
Brian Bickle. How long did it take for him to get rid of Brian Bickle?
Yeah, that was the first
That
turnaround.
Crawford at towards the end of it, yeah. Now it seems more justifiable, but when he first gave that to Crow, that was stupid money to throw out to him. Like
It's legit now, though. Now that
It's
panned
now
out,
it's legit, yeah. But
it ended up working out,
So-
but he got lucky on
But
that
I mean,
one.
you compare Darling. You got to look back and you got to look at what an average number one is making. You know, not an elite top guy in the league, number one.
Sorry, I'm on Cap Friendly right now, and Darling clearly has voiced his opinions that he's not a backup. Maybe it's because some guy, Jeff Glass, who's not even in the Hawks system, at least
He got
online,
Called, he got called
Yeah.
up for the.
is making
playoff.
Yeah.
is making $40,000 more than Scott Darling
what
is right now.
what is
Maybe
Darling-
that's
what
why
is-
he's a
what is
little
Darling
upset.
making now?
587.5.
See, you're not going to go from that to a $5 million contract. He
I'm
has
gonna-
not played.
he can-
He's proved he's good enough, but he has not.
I'm gonna
played
go
enough.
2.5, 3
I would
is
say
where he's
2.5,
gonna go.
3. That's where I believe he goes, and that's what he deserves.
But when Crow went down with appendicitis, that was what it was.
Yeah, it was
He's
appendicitis.
proved, and he was proving.
I don't know. Did he, though?
I thought he did.
Yeah,
I thought he was
did
great.
There's been
this
multiple
year.
times in the past 3 seasons where Crow has gone down and Darling's come in for an extensive period, and he did not prove himself.
The times
in
when
that
Darling
long,
struggled-
Darling did not.
the long
Did
parts.
Darling not prove himself, or did the D?
No, the D play a lot better when Darling's there
Okay.
instead of Crow because they know they can rely on Crow
Yeah.
more.
True.
Was it Darling
Which is
that
another
didn't-
reason that Darling looks better is because the D's actually playing better,
Yeah,
which could be a reason to
I mean-
keep him.
Right.
but the points where Darling struggled, I thought, especially not this past season, but the year before, was when he didn't see time for a while. Crawford
Right.
got those
That's true.
9, 10, 11 games in a
At
row.
one point, it was
Yeah.
20 games that.
Yeah, that
Darling
Darling
didn't
didn't,
see-
even see
yeah.
anything.
So last year, Crow played 58 games. He had a 237 goals against and a 924 save percentage.
robbed in the Vezina Trophy voting.
Darling
In my
last
thoughts.
year played 29 games, had a 258 goals against average, and a 915 save percentage.
That was where he struggled, but he figured it out towards the end.
This year, Crow played 55 games with a 255 goals against and a 918 save percentage, and Darling played 32 games with a 238 goals against and a 924 save percentage.
Keep in mind that 238 and 934 inflated in that last game against Colorado because he gave up, I think, 4 on 19.
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
even including that, obviously,
Colorado, clean.
looking at it, they pretty much almost exactly just swapped stats.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Crawford was never the same since that appendicitis surgery.
Yeah.
He was never the same. He kind of got back to form there towards the end, but he still was not the guy before that surgery. I don't know if it never fully healed or what.
Like, yeah, this goes back to it didn't feel like we were a 109-point team because it did not feel like our entire team was 100% or it was not the normal guys. Like, there was something going on.
With everybody almost.
Yeah, like, it just did not feel like it did not seem like a Blackhawks season.
They seem to always have good chemistry and have a lot of fun, and this year just did not seem like fun for anyone.
You can't deny, though, that there was a point in the season, like that game against Colorado where we were down 3-1 in the third, and they came back and they won it 6-3, 5-goal third period.
The garbage offsides call.
No.
Yeah.
That was the Minnesota game.
No, that was Colorado,
that was
too. Taves was offsides.
The Minnesota was the one that was called against us.
Yeah.
When Minnesota's favor.
Oh,
and
shit,
Colorado
that's
was
right.
our favor.
I forgot about
That sparked it. The offsides play by Taves.
that one. But there's a point. The way that I know that the Hawks are like they're good, they're really good, is when I'm like
Those kind of games.
Those kinds of games when I'm like, we're down 3-1 with like 10 minutes left
and
to
you're
go in
not
the third.
worried.
I don't think that we're gonna lose this game still. Like we still have a chance.
Which kind of goes back to this playoff series, which I even going into Game 4, I was like, they could do it.
Yeah.
They could do it, and then they just Toronto Maple Leafed me.
Yeah.
And just broke my heart.
Right in the heart.
That must have been like the one because I felt they were not coming. Going to Game 4.
I mean,
they're done.
Watching them play, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but like in my heart, I was like, oh, they could easily do this. They've done it before.
The second we lost Game 3, I was like, no. I'm like, I just don't. This is not the same.
Going
team.
into Game 3, I thought we're gonna turn it around. This is it. We're gonna figure it out, and they did. They did for 3:75, I guess, because it wasn't a full 4 periods. They figured it out a little bit. They just sat back in the third, which, God, that is the thing that pisses me off the most about this team, is that they sit back in the third period when they have a lead. They don't try and add on and step on the throats of the other team, Coach Tom.
Yeah.
Step on the throats of the other team and
Talking about the chalk.
completely smash them into the ground. No life left anymore.
And
they never do that.
A little reverse of that, when they go down early, they kind of just sit back and wait till the third to turn it up and make a game out of it too.
Yeah, it's like they're playing a game of how long can we wait before we're screwed.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I bet you we could score with 3 minutes left to win it. How about 17 seconds?
So other than Crow and Darling, one of them is going to end up getting the boot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need to clear up cap space.
Cap space, yeah.
We need to clear up cap space, especially if Darling is the one to go, because 5.8 or whatever the hell that was.
What?
Who, Crawford?
No, Darling, 5.875.
Yeah.
That's not going to be enough. We need to start moving people.
Yeah.
Seabrook?
I think
I've been hearing Seabrook, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Taves.
And Taves.
Which Taves I would really be upset about. I would not.
Like, disgust.
It would make me so mad. I get that he's not been good offensively. I understand that.
But if you think about it, he's never been the big offensive guy.
And I'm one of those people that will do what he does is more than stats.
Absolutely.
Like
face-offs?
Hey, listen.
Come on.
Listen, fella. He had like a 50-something... Oh, these are all the tickets. He had like a 50%, 56% face-off percentage, so he was fine.
Yeah.
I also heard some speculation about Nicholas Hjalmarsson, and
that would be...
If they haven't learned from re-signing him, taking him out of the clutches of the San Jose Sharks after they won.
Are you still on cap?
Yeah, I'm on cap for them right now.
What's his hit?
4.1 for the next 3.
Seabrook is what, 6 point something or 7 almost?
6.8.
And what's Keith?
5.6.
5.5.
5.5.
Keith, Hjalmarsson, I don't think will ever be discussed.
Which is upsetting.
But they have the most friendly contracts for the Hawks right now.
Talking about Keith, though.
It's very cap friendly.
Yeah, look at that. Weird play.
There was a sponsorship.
But seriously, though, like going to Keith, I mean, I understand Seabrook has 1.3 mil more cap hit.
He's a year younger than Dunks, by the way.
But looking at Keith, he's not good.
Defensively.
Okay. Yeah, defensively, but he's supposed to be one of the best offensive defensemen in the league. Comparing him to 2 of the 3 Norris candidates this season, Keith had 6 goals this year and 47 assists for 53 points.
Yeah, he had a rough one this year.
Brent Burns.
Don't even talk about Brent Burns.
Don't
even talk about Brent Burns.
Brent Burns, 29 goals, 47 assists for 76 points.
Brent Burns is not a defenseman.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Erik Karlsson, 17 goals, 54 assists for 71 points.
Oh, God, he's so good.
And Keith's supposed to be one of the best offensive defensemen in the league. And you look at those 2 guys, and I understand Burns is kind of has an asterisk.
He's iffy.
Yeah,
he kind of has an asterisk. Because what
iffy.
defenseman almost gets 30 goals in a season? Like
Shea Weber. Shea Weber.
But, I mean, and watching Keith play, it's so frustrating because he's just... I think I get so frustrated watching him because everybody has him on this pedestal of him being the great defenseman that he is, 2-time Norris champion, and then watching him play and he just coughs the puck up. He doesn't win board battles. He's afraid to get hit, which I gained a little bit of respect for that hit that he threw in that series. That was fucking stupid. Arvidsson, welcome to the show, kid.
Arvidsson could not catch the license plate number on that semi.
Yeah.
He had no clue what was coming in.
He had a great year, but Keith, just brought him back down a step.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but then
That was
Arvidsson...
amazing.
But, I mean, he's still in the playoffs.
Arvidsson's like, hey, I'll keep playing, though, and take that hit.
Still tore you guys apart.
Take a hit to keep playing, eh?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just don't see it with Keith. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why he's this amazing player, guy that'll retire as a Hawk, never even think about getting traded for. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And then you throw out Jarmelson.
Is his number going to be in the rafters?
Fuck that, dude.
Oh, absolutely will.
And it's stupid that it will be.
His number's going to be up there. Seabrook's number's going to be up there.
Taves and Kane.
Taves and Kane is going to be
Hossa?
up there. Haas might... You can make a case.
You can make a case.
You can make a case for Haas.
I would say yes.
The only thing I see why he wouldn't is because he played so many years not with the Hawks.
Right.
Taves, Kane, Seabrook, and Keith.
that
All
year
4
with
of them
Detroit.
were...
That year
Yeah,
with
it's
Detroit
the 1 year with
screwed
Detroit.
him.
Or those 18...
That's why Chelly's never going to
Or those 18 games with Pittsburgh. That really...
Yeah.
that really just
that put him over the
my
edge.
gears.
Yeah. You played 18 games with Pittsburgh. I'm not throwing your name up there.
So, okay, talking about players that could possibly move. I saw one on a site that I'm not going to say the site because they're gotcha journalism, fake news, bullshit kind of stuff. But they made a good point with Panarin. Yeah. With Panarin. That is he, regardless of what we just went through to re-sign him, is he got the most for people to be like, you know what? I want to take the chance. I want to give you the relief that you need as opposing GM, knowing that our bats are against the wall, and getting rid of Panarin can probably mean the difference of us signing another defenseman or another goalie.
Like what team, though?
I'm just saying in general. Like any team would know it. Every team knows that we're backs against the wall, and very few teams are going to help us out.
How much is he making right now?
Panarin?
Artemi?
It's going to be a $6 million, I believe.
For 1 year, right?
No, it's a six.
He
has 1 year left.
He made
doesn't he?
$812,000 this year.
And it goes into his 6 years.
6 for the next 2.
For the next
It's
6 mil
only
for the
2?
next 2 years, right?
6 and 6.
Yeah.
Yikes. Maybe not. But still, if the team saw the upside having Panarin, and even now with for some teams it is a very friendly contract. For some teams,
Carolina.
Vegas,
Florida. Vegas, ooh.
But I mean, like, could you see it? Bowman, after going through what he had to go through to sign him for that, do you think they would move him?
No, he's
just.
I feel like it's kind of a pride thing for Bowman not to.
Well, not only that, but honest to God, solely for the fact that line is so freaking dominant.
Misonov, you see him be moved?
Who do we replace him with? It took us so long to
Joe
find
Thornton.
a second line center for Christ's sake. Oh, Jesus Christ. Shoot me now.
I don't know, man. Guy played better than I would on one leg.
You couldn't even play on one leg.
Hey, take it easy. This is a Hawks podcast.
Talk about all Robert Morris next podcast.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would listen.
I'll just be quiet.
I keep forgetting that Marcus Kruger is making 3.08.
Yeah, that's a stupid
Oh my
contract.
god.
That's not me, is it? What the fuck is it? Oh, Angela, you.
We love you, Ange.
Wait, but going back to Taze real quick, if he got moved, looking at last season he had 28 goals, 30 assists, 58 points. This year he had 21 goals, 37 assists, and 58 points again.
I feel like
These are the two lowest point years since 11-12, where he had 57 points, not including the 2013 year where he had 48, obviously. But since 2012, he's had two of his lowest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what? I guess that's only technically 2-3 years.
I really want to see what he does next year. Now that he said that he's got this whole new workout plan, that he wants to get back to what he was.
Maybe
a more
even
offensive
the
threat.
quote-unquote rumors of him getting traded is going to fire him up a little
I
even
still
more.
want to know exactly who is saying that he's like because I personally I haven't seen anything saying Taze's name's out there. I haven't personally. I've heard people say it.
The only thing I've seen is on Twitter with a couple of dumbasses asking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the same people that are probably saying fire Q and all that kind of stuff.
Didn't you say fire Q?
No, I didn't say fire Q. I asked if it was if his time was coming up with us.
Yeah.
If it was we needed to change.
Are you that dumbass on Twitter?
Yeah. But okay, so now what's going on? Do you think this is an easy fix for whatever is wrong? Like, do we
Define easy fix.
Okay, is it as simple as we have an extremely long off season now? Do we rest up, all that kind of thing?
Obviously,
Or
changes have to be made.
Right.
It helps
So,
that
do you see
none of the guys are going to that world championship or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, Panarin is, Schmaltz is, and TVR are.
Yeah, but Taves, Kane,
Right.
a host of those
Big,
kind of
yeah.
guys.
The important
aren't
ones
going.
minus
That's huge.
Panarin.
Yeah.
What? Panarin huge.
He's
Playoff
making
Panarin-
6.6 million,
Yeah.
so he's technically huge in my
Not
opinion.
yet. He's not.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So like, okay, just easy fix as signing one guy, couple like.
I would say yes and no to that. I feel like yes, because they obviously, I feel like they have to address the D. And it depends. It all starts with the goalie, honestly. It depends on which goalie they keep. And from there, it could be yes or no, even after that. It literally depends. You have to start with your goalie and figure out who you're going to keep. You got to get a backup for him. And then you have to, after that, figure out your D. You got to get rid of one D, I think. And you got to bring somebody young in other than TVR or Kempney. You need one established young defenseman that's cheap to help you figure it out.
Now, how far, though, do the Hawks go to do that? Because you have to remember, coming in next year is our Lord and Savior, Alex DeBrincat.
Oh,
God.
that's why I said goalie and D. I never
That's
said
okay.
all
Alex
whatsoever.
Oh God.
I know, but I mean, how
your heart out,
much are the
Daniel.
Hawks willing to spend on the back end when they've got a guy like Alex DeBrincat? And I understand
He's gonna sign an entry level contract.
I get
It's
that.
not
I
gonna
get
be.
that. But how long is?
That's a 3-year deal.
It's
still.
3 years,
3
right?
years, so
it's,
yeah.
That's.
And that could
What do
be-
you do after 3 years, though? I mean, you have to start planning ahead.
They didn't mind throwing Panarin a small little chunk of change and freeing up some space for him.
Yeah.
Who knows where the cap's going to be at that point too?
And
We've got a whole bunch-
who knows who's still gonna be on the team? Who else
Yeah.
they're gonna move at that point?
I just wanted to bring up Alex DeBrincat.
Yeah, everybody wants to talk about Alex
So
DeBrincat.
mother effing excited for that guy. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. One
So
amazing thing to look forward to next year for sure.
Is next year a rebuild type year? Do you think? Like when I say rebuild, I mean
It's gonna be another year.
in the
yeah.
loosest
Third-
of terms,
third
yes.
place in the maybe
2011,
division.
2012
Yeah.
type year, which I guess this year and last year.
lower
almost
lower
were.
seed.
I'm looking right now, free agent goaltenders. I read online that Corey Crawford could potentially find his way into Vegas. They have to give him a list of 10 teams.
Yeah,
And if was that you that
yeah.
was
I was
telling
telling you
me?
about
Yeah.
this.
And he could, if Vegas is on that team, he could potentially be like, "Yeah, I want to be
Throw
up."
them in.
Because he's got he's got a limited no movement clause.
Right.
So if Vegas is not on that list, he can be exposed.
Exactly.
And at this point, if he can be exposed, you just say, hey, take him, because the most you're gonna get out of him now is a couple draft picks.
Now I'm looking at the free agent goaltenders. Fellas, it's rough.
Ben Bishop.
It's
God no.
Ben Bishop.
God no.
Benny had a rough one this year.
Yeah.
He had a real rough year.
But I mean, he's gone to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
You throw him.
Lost to us.
But he made it to the final. You throw him on the Hawks, which if Antti Niemi can win a Stanley Cup with the Hawks, I don't see why
that was
Bishop.
That was the best Hawks team that they're ever going to have, though.
Oh,
so
God,
I don't know if you can make that.
Bishop is going to ask for Crawford money.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, if you get rid of Crow, you still have Darling, which you're going to look for not a Ben Bishop type.
Sparks.
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Sparks.
So I'm looking at the list here.
We're listening.
Peter Budaj, Steve Mason, Brian Elliott, Jonathan Bernier, Mike Condon, Ryan Miller, Ben Bishop, Chad Johnson, Scott Darling, Anders Nilsson, Darcy Kemper, Curtis McElhenney, Keith Kincaid, Andre Pavlik, Jean-Francois Berube. Not a single person that I would
McElhenney.
like to see.
I wouldn't mind.
McElhenney, the Toronto.
Oh, Michael Leighton, guys. We could bring him back for a fourth time.
Yeah.
Budaj, too. I wouldn't mind Budaj. But I think he earned himself some money this year.
But the only thing is, like, you bring in any of those guys and you put Darling as your starter, I just don't trust it.
Is it a 1A, 1B?
I don't trust
That's what I was about to say.
1A, 1B?
Is it going to be really, he's going to be a true starter?
You know what? If they go 1A, 1B,
he's not going to be happy.
accept that.
Yeah.
Because
what he just said.
to be a starter.
A 60-40 situation.
No, I don't even think he's going to be happy with that.
So you think he wants the 82 game?
Oh, absolutely. He wants
not 82, but
I mean,
he wants the I'm going to go until I can't anymore. Give me a break.
Give me a day
and then
off.
I'm going to keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going to pull a Talbot.
When Talbot got traded to Edmonton, he's
Devin Dubnyk too.
Yeah, because my mind is I'm going to play 82 games.
They rode Devin Dubnyk so hard when they...
Shut your mouth. Devin Dubnyk is awful.
All right, mister. I know everything about goalies.
No.
Carey Price is so much
I don't know
better
everything
than
about
Lundqvist.
goalies, but God bless America, does Devin Dubnyk suck?
Let's
Ooh.
Okay.
Does Devin Dubnyk suck or does Minnesota suck?
Dubnyk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huh?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, where are they right now?
Oh, yeah, and Jake Allen won.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah,
Just
so
a whole,
what's all about that?
A whole mess of a situation over there. But that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. No.
Let's play a hypothetical that we go with Darling. What about you bring him for another guy, blast from the past, Antti Ratna?
Oh, no, Anti's going to ask for the same thing, especially being behind Hank for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not for so long, but the way Hank's been playing and the way Ronta's been coming in and
Ronta,
covering his ass.
Yeah.
Ronta's been playing awesome.
Ronta almost started in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Could you see the Hawks just coming with a brand new 1-2 goalie set next year? No Darling.
Really throw a curveball.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, fuck both of you.
We don't want either one. No, I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all because that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's garbage fire. You never know.
That's borderline
treason.
Disloyal. Just disloyalty, to be honest with you. You're not supposed to look at the camera.
Yeah, don't look at the camera.
You said at the beginning not to look at the camera.
Mister, I went to film school.
No, I feel like that's just disloyalty on if that happens on the part of the front office manager. Like I feel like if I'm a player, I'm gonna be like, get me the hell out of here. Absolutely not.
If they do that, they're getting rid of Taves too. Like
that's
the same level.
Talk about a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
Taves, Seabrook, Jomerson, get everybody out of here.
If you're a player in the organization that's shady, get me out of here. But what do they owe? What do they owe Darling, who's a free agent? They technically don't owe him anything.
Is he's unrestricted?
He's unrestricted. They don't owe him anything.
Or he's an RFA?
No, he's unrestricted.
Is he?
Yeah. They don't owe him anything. They don't owe. They owe him the right, to have a contract.
They kind of do. I mean, we don't win the 15 cup without Scott Darling.
Congrats on winning one series for us.
Hey, thanks, Bolin. You won the game. You scored us the game-winning goal. What happened?
I mean, he won 2 cups for us.
But I'm just saying though, like,
come on, don't wreck on Dave Bolin.
I'm just saying though, he wins us a cup and then he was immediately traded.
Well, yeah, but we traded him off because we were like, oh, you got back issues. Yeah, that's not going.
But I feel
Toronto, go ahead, take him.
He was owed more than Darling's owed right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Crawford
I guess
has to know that his contract is an issue. And if we can get something,
he knows. Well, I mean, both of them know one of them's gone. But if
Right.
both of them go, they're what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, that's
you want me
gonna be-
back? I'll come.
And what's the difference?
Would
from,
you even want to? Would they even want to come back?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
Here's another thing. What if we trade Crawford and Darling ends up getting $4 million? We offer him 3. Vegas offers him 4. What's going to stop him? I mean,
I don't know. He's a hometown guy, though. I don't think he would want to do
a
that.
hometown discount.
I don't know though. What if
like that's
what if Vegas takes Crow or Darling, vice versa, and
I don't think they can take Darling. I mean, they can.
He's
sign
unrestricted.
Him. Yeah, they can sign him, but they can't take him in the draft.
No, I know, but I mean he's unrestricted, and they get chance at everybody before
Right. They get the
any other players.
early.
And what if
Yeah.
like the Hawks have Crow already set up to go?
What if they go? They take Crow and the expansion,
What if they have
and
both?
then they sign Darling.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because I mean, Vegas, the general manager, what's it, McPhee? Vegas.
Bill Foley is the owner. I
yeah,
know
I
that.
think it's McPhee. Came out and said today, he goes, "We're open game for trades for who to protect and all that." And then they can start making moves now about who they want.
I'm sorry. I just typed in Vegas Golden and Vegas Golden Showers. This is number 2 Google. Was the number 2 Google thing to come up. That's outstanding. Yes,
Man.
George McPhee.
George McPhee, yeah.
Golden
That's
showers. They
amazing.
missed out on a golden
They
opportunity.
missed a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
There's so many things on that team.
Vegas Golden Showers. That's amazing.
And we're talking about Vegas real quick. Expansion draft or the entry level draft? When do we see the jerseys?
Entry.
I really hope it's the entry level draft because
Chicago.
I'll be there. That'd be neat.
I wish I was going to be there.
That'd be neat. Have you seen like the mock-ups that they've had?
Yeah.
It looks,
Of what?
The
jersey?
Vegas jersey.
That's
yeah.
the one too.
It's
Yeah, I saw one.
eerily similar to the Ducks.
Yeah.
It's hard not to match another team's jersey nowadays. I mean, Stars and Hawks.
You got the
It's the same exact.
rebuy format, which I'm kind of excited for Adidas to see if anybody goes.
I'm not excited.
No,
for
I'm not
Adidas
excited
at
for
all.
that. The reason I'm excited is I want to see if the team goes like a big change. Because
Crazy, yeah.
That's
Like
the only
if
thing
St.
I'm excited.
Louis goes to like the retro 1970s
Yeah.
ones.
Which a lot of teams are
Oh.
doing.
That'd be
which I
cool.
love.
God, yeah,
That'd be
Pittsburgh.
really cool.
They can make those Winter Classic jerseys something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old retro jerseys are sick. L.A. Go back to the purples, bud.
Oh yes.
In Anaheim.
Oh God, yes.
Anaheim, bring back the Disney version of your jerseys
Oh,
because
God.
nothing is better than that.
How have they not bought
Those jerseys right
rights
now are
back from
disgusting.
Disney?
They're absolutely terrible.
Stupid.
And the
Disgusting in
orange
a
ones that they're
bad
trying
way.
to make it up for it.
So
Oh.
bad. I hate them.
I mean, they obviously made someone deal with Disney so they can use that logo. Why not just full blown go?
Yeah,
back?
because I mean they've had a couple games where
Yeah.
they've worn them as throwbacks.
All right. Going into the offseason, we talked about goaltending. Is that our biggest need, or
Defense.
are we
Defense for
defense,
sure.
Yeah.
100%.
or looking for someone to play along with Taves in that first line?
No.
We want Taves to get a kick in the
DeBrincat,
ass.
Hossa, Taves.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Speaking
it
about
happened.
DeBrincat, come on.
Holy
I think-
shit.
I mean, it'd be awesome.
Defense for sure.
If you re-sign Panic, who's an RFA,
How much is he gonna ask for after
He
this?
can't ask too much.
2 years?
He can't ask
he
too
can
much.
ask for all he wants. I mean,
He can, but he's not gonna. I don't think he gets that much.
So the worst case scenario is a team offers him a shit ton of money, and we say,
We try to match
fine,
it, yeah,
we'll take
go
your,
ahead.
We'll take
Yeah.
your draft picks.
Yeah.
So
Which Bowman will end up trading down the line.
Yeah.
pulling up the free agent defenseman right now. Rob Scuderi's out there. Second round with the Hawks, maybe. Rob Scuderi. Just saying. Throwing that out
Another
there.
Bowman gem.
Throwing out, or we can go with Trevor Daly, who got a solid 1 point with the Hawks.
Couldn't even make it 30 games before he wanted out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but he won a cup the next place.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
just
I know.
saying though, like
Pissed. All right, Andrei Markov, Dennis Moidman, Mark Streit, Chris Pronger,
no,
Dmitry
why-
Chris
Kulikov,
Pronger.
No, why-
Come on.
Dmitry
I don't want the
Kulikov,
Flames curse.
Flames curse.
Kevin Shattenkirk, Michael
Oh,
Stone.
Shattenkirk's a free agent.
Shattenkirk's a UFA.
He's going to New York. He's
He's
be a
probably
Ranger.
gonna go
He
to
will
New
be a
York.
Ranger. His Twitter bio says like New York born or like
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York body or something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, Hawks couldn't afford him any. I mean, I guess you get a receiver. You can afford anybody.
Speaking of Shattenkirk, how great would it be if Pittsburgh beats Washington and St. Louis beats Nashville.
St. Louis moves on, but
And Shattenkirk's
Washington
done.
doesn't. God, the fact that St. Louis and Tampa, I don't fucking get them at the free agent deadline.
Oh, man.
The trade deadline. I'm sorry. They get rid of Shattenkirk, St. Louis, and now they're on to the second round. And Tampa gets rid of Ben Bishop, Filppula, and Boyle. And they were 1 point out from making the playoffs.
I know
Without Stamkos.
Without Stamkos.
Without Tyler Johnson for a
live
long
and
ass
breathe
time.
Leafs.
Oh,
besides
yeah.
the Hawks.
Leafs Hawks are my 1A, 1B goaltending
I have to
tandem.
say though, like you cannot be like not impressed with what the Islanders
Absolutely.
did again. They did but you know what? They did what they needed to do, and Toronto just was better.
Toronto did what
I
they
don't
needed
know
to
what
do.
Doug Weight did with the Islanders because
Oh,
they are
yeah.
just a dog shit hockey team. They're terrible.
The Islanders.
so
I want
happy.
them to be so good, and every year they have so much potential,
I
but
mean-
they just do not live up to it whatsoever.
What is the thought process of keeping up Thomas Greiss and J.F. Berube and putting down Jarom Halak?
Who almost
What
won
the hell
Europe
are
the
you
World
thinking?
Cup?
Who destroyed and
Oh my
sat there,
God.
And Islanders wins. Hey, we need a win.
He literally sat
nope.
down there for
Yeah.
90% of the season.
Yeah.
Halak Summers was
What the
stupid
hell?
in the A. And there's like, okay, yeah, I think he's got a confidence back. Let's bring him back up. No.
Talk about disloyalty
God.
towards your players.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Going back to Shattenkirk real quick, he's got a 4.25 cap hit.
And he'll
go up.
He'll get 6.
He'll go
up.
way the
6,
hell
7.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe 6 or 7.5.
He will fly up.
I'd say about 7. Yeah.
But he'll be a Ranger, and he'll be stupid.
How about that?
Like the Rangers will go all the way to the conference finals, and then probably just Ranger out because
Yeah.
Hank is never
Ranger
gonna win.
out.
Ranger out.
Because the Hank will never win. I'm sorry, Hank
feel
is never gonna win.
No, I mean next
I don't know.
year,
His
As long as
time
he's
is
not
in
a Ranger.
2012. That was his time.
That was
and
it.
they didn't even stand a
I'm
chance
sorry, not
against the
2012,
Kings.
2014.
Yeah.
They didn't even they didn't stand a chance.
I mean, they went to what, 3 OTs? 3 overtime like games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only 5 games.
Out and we scored.
Yeah.
Since he doesn't even remember it.
Going back to the defense though, what about that Polka kid?
Polka, I don't understand. He's this big thing. Why has he not gotten his chance? Like, is there something wrong with him?
Or is that just Joe Quenneville being Joe Quenneville?
It could be.
I mean, is that cute?
I mean, why do the Hawks still have Rosie?
Like,
So I mean,
your
you could
guess
bring
is
up
as good as mine.
you could
because
bring
know
up
what?
Polka
Those
and
of all these-
let
I'm
him.
okay with the Rosie and Tutu re-sign because that means we save Hartman.
I mean, that was
So-
honestly that was a really really smart move. But I mean,
I can see Rosie retiring after the expansion draft. I can see him retiring.
he doesn't get picked up.
He doesn't get picked up. I honestly can see it. He
why
signed. He
not?
did us a favor.
How many games did he play this year?
He did us a favor?
He does a favor by
This
signing,
year,
so we can-
absolutely.
by signing him, we can protect.
He didn't
Hartman.
play much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He
But
gets
Just this
exposed.
year, at least.
we still have Victor Svedberg. I forgot that he even
God.
existed.
Yeah, Black Ace, baby.
6'8". You think somebody's 6'8"?
No, then you look
Svedberg.
at Chara. Chara's
no,
garbage.
best.
Did you guys? I saw a mic'd up of the first round kind of thing. Did you guys watch that?
No, I didn't.
There was a referee that went up to Chara, and he literally goes, "Z, looking good. You can play for another 5-6 years." And I went,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
he
that-
should have
yeah.
been done 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, the whole Chara thing is
Brutal.
about as much sense to me as the
That's
Keith
Svedberg.
Norris.
My favorite Svedberg moment is the 2015 Stanley Cup when he dressed to go out on the ice when they won, and then they show him in the locker room running around, pouring beer with everybody because he was tall enough to reach the ball.
Hey man, living the dream.
Yeah.
Just throw the jersey on and just chug beers.
All right, dream free agent ad. Let's hit that real quick. And I know what my answer is already. Justin Williams.
Justin,
God,
Mr.
yeah.
Game 7.
Mr. Game 7.
Hey,
Justin
I mean,
Williams.
we had to make it to a Game 7 for him to be relevant.
Well, shut up.
Honestly, Yamir.
Yes.
No.
God,
That's a
what-
dream.
what-
That's an absolute dream. That's a dream.
That's a dream. We haven't hit real.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it a dream, but
Yeah.
that's a dream right there.
I'm gonna throw. I'm not. It's throwing as a dream would be, but Iginla.
No, Iginla.
He's going back to
he's
Calgary.
got-
Trade deadline.
Trade deadline. Okay,
Trade deadline
fair,
pickup for
fair.
that charity case
Yeah.
Stanley Cup win. because everybody knows.
Where does he go there after this year?
I hope
Calgary.
he signs a minimum.
I really want him to go to Calgary. Yeah.
They can do it. Like they're right there. They
Oh
can
yeah.
do it.
Oh yeah. They're right there. Which I mean, we don't have to get into that, but that fucking series against
We'll talk
Anaheim
about
was
that
an
in a minute.
absolute
We'll
joke.
talk about that in a minute because that was just as big as a surprise.
Patrick Sharp.
No, God, no. God,
What if
no.
they
God,
brought him
no.
back?
Absolutely, God, no.
I could see them not
That's
saying that I want him to come back, just saying that it's a possibility because they like bringing
it's a Bowman move.
That would be
they like bringing him
Johnny
back.
2.0, dude.
It's a Bowman move.
That would be an absolute shit show.
If that happens, that's when you got to go and give Scotty a call and be like, "Could you fucking wake your son up a little bit?" Like,
Slap him for me.
Slap him for me.
TJ Oshie is a free agent.
How much
this
is
year.
he? What's he making?
4.175.
he will be. He's gonna be in
it.
He's gonna be in the 6.
Can that be a realistic one?
Well,
you know what? Does that depend?
Wait.
Does that depend on how far they go?
That's true. That is fair. But you get rid of Crow, that's 6. You get rid of Seabrook, that's 7. You got 13 million cap space.
I have to get up. I gotta.
You could throw
duct tape my penis to my.
All right, take it easy now.
Gotta walk. That's exciting.
So I mean, that's a possibility right there.
Yeah, I mean, if you clean house with some of these
Plus,
big
if the cap goes
contracts-
up a little bit,
I mean,
maybe a mil or two.
It was supposed to be, what's that now, 76 or 73? I think it's rumored to go up to 76.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
I think we would be kind of wasting TJ Oshie though because the Hawks really don't go to many shootouts. We would kind of be wasting his talents.
Hey Oshie, don't worry, shootout's coming, bud.
Look, I say one thing. Taze, Oshie, Brinket.
Or
my god!
or-
oh my god! I love everything.
what if you throw Oshie at center? Do Hossa, DeBrincat, Taves, Oshie, Panarin, Kane.
And there goes Amisnov, another $5 million.
You got 18 million cap space.
I like him, but I mean,
You get Oshie?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a solid point. And Anisimov can go freak off.
Yeah. We get it. You use your fucking sniper on the Rangers.
What did he say about that?
Oh my
when
god!
you asked him.
Yeah, at the Hawks convention, I got his autograph, and I handed him the puck, and he was like so like, just like barely spoke English, just not looking up at anybody, just not talking to anybody. And I said, "Hey man, when you're at the Rangers, you got a sick celly." And he just looked up at me and started laughing. He goes, "Everybody always talk about my celly, how sick it was." And I was like, "Well, I mean, it was." It was so funny though. How about good old Mike Ribeiro?
No.
How about let's make a trade, free up the cap space we were talking about, and get the thrill.
Yeah, get the cap space and then screw ourselves in cap space.
He's only 6 because I think he's being covered by Toronto's still covering 2 mils.
Poor Toronto, man.
Hashtag thanks leaves. Poor Toronto.
Poor
Dude, they're fucked.
I know, but I mean, they're still paying for Phil.
I mean,
I think it's well worth it. What's going on?
Yeah, I guess. Radim Verbata.
Yeah.
I was surprised we didn't get him at the deadline.
I thought it was gonna happen.
I thought he was coming back.
I really did.
He had a good year this year too.
He had a great year. 55 points in 81 games on Arizona.
Yeah.
Who does Arizona have?
Christian Dvorak.
Christian Dvorak.
Name drop.
Name drop. Let's get him. Let's rack him up.
Like, let's talk about Coyotes making the moves, and then they're trying to rebuild and get on, and then they don't move Verbata. They hold on to him for no reason.
Don't even come back next year.
Doan comes back.
I don't know.
Doan refuses to be traded.
I know. It doesn't make sense.
Does he just call it quits then? I feel like at that point he's.
I mean,
he's already an analyst.
I was gonna say he's already on NHL.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't happy at the trade deadline, but I mean, at the same time, he's like, dude, you have stuck around this team for how long when you've had so many outs?
Yeah.
What was it, 2013, 2014, that it was rumored to come to Chicago?
Oh, God, I forgot about that rumor. No, that was the year that they played him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
2011?
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2012, yeah.
So I just remember, I was like, oh, who's this is awkward. Who gets 19?
No.
So I just found 2. Good old Chicago boy, Tommy Wingles.
Tommy Wingles. What a name. That's a great name.
Is he an RFA or a UFA?
UFA.
Ooh.
And Brian Boyle. If the Leafs
See, I don't know where
re-sign him-
Brian Boyle fits in with the Hawks, though.
I mean, where does this...
I'm just saying because you got Hartman, who's kind of the same player.
But he doesn't play much because Q doesn't like him.
He still plays like every game, though.
Boyle is that PK guy that we could use, though, to bring that
That's
PK
true.
around.
That's true, especially if Kruger goes.
Yeah.
Especially if Kruger goes.
Yeah.
And he's a center, which is helpful.
Yeah. Because who's our 4th-line center?
We don't know. That's a
Whoever you
revolving
want it to be,
door.
man.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's a coin flip in the locker room before.
Maybe
Yeah.
if Darling doesn't get a
Goes
starting
you.
job, he could be our
Little
fourth line
Rochambeau.
center.
Damn it.
Throw the credit card in a hat.
Yeah.
So are we sold on Kruger going to probably be...
Yeah,
A
I
night?
think so.
I don't know.
Just not a
It's him
night,
and Van
but he's-
Riemsdyk.
Not a night per se, but I think he's gone no matter what. I mean that contract is far too large for the Hawks to have at this point.
He's like, if anybody is going to be just taken off our books, like realistic, just taking off our books for no reason, like the expansion draft, I kind of hope it's Kruger.
Yeah.
Just not because I would love to have Kruger still, but...
Yeah. Especially after the soft season that he had. I mean, he was awesome.
He got hurt though too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hurt for a while, yeah. I feel like everybody on the 4th line got hurt at some point.
It's that grinder.
Yeah.
Which
Not man enough.
Yeah, I know.
our grinder rolls with our 5'0",
I know.
120-pound
Jesus.
guys.
Hey, we got Jordan 2 too.
Yeah. I think that's enough Blackhawks because now I'm sad.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, DeBrincat.
Yeah,
think of
DeBrincat.
DeBrincat. Just think of DeBrincat.
He's that ray of
Yeah.
sunshine coming in. All right, so the playoffs right now. Round 2 just started last night.
Yep.
2 pretty decent hockey games.
I fell asleep during the Edmonton game.
Did you? At what
did.
point?
I couldn't even tell you.
Because that third period was
I did not see any of the third.
amazing.
Yeah, I did
That
not
third
see any
period
of the
was just
third.
an absolute
Watch
explosion.
But I woke up and my dad said, "Hey, Edmonton, huh?" And I was like, "Fuck off!" And I was like, "No way!" I was like, "No fucking way!"
What a
they
way to
did
speak
it.
to your dad.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Oh,
good old Kev.
Good old Kev loves it though. Yeah, really great day. We talked about it earlier. Leon Draisaitl, 4 points.
Yeah, that's
4
huge.
points.
It's huge.
And big ol' not trade deadline, off-season pickup.
Adam Larson.
Adam Larson
Larson.
for.
I saw Adam Larson had 2 goals last night. Taylor Hall does not have a single playoff goal. And Adam Larson has 2 in one game.
Oh, I feel so bad for
That
Taylor
I
Hall.
literally want Edmonton to lose just for
feel-
Taylor
I
Hall's
know.
sake. I feel so bad for him because I just
just
he's-
picture Taylor Hall watching the Edmonton games like in his basement and the lights are off.
eating cookie dough.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
the end of dodgeball.
fucking
Fuck you,
Chuck
Chuck
Norris. He I feel like he's the next Phil.
Yeah.
Like just the nice guy, tries hard, loves
Last
the
guy to get
game.
picked in the NHL All-Star
Yeah,
game.
and then gets traded.
Everybody's taking pictures of him.
Like he's a 30 goal scorer on dog shit Edmonton
And
teams
he-
and
yeah.
goes to a dog shit New Jersey
He's
team.
made out to seem such a bad player, but
He's unreal.
I know.
so good. Like
He's John
Consistently
Tavares.
30
Yeah.
goals.
John Tavares.
Yeah.
He's another one. Which John Tavares, he should fucking
Could
get
he
the
be-
fuck out of
he should
Islanders.
leave. I'm saying, I think Hall might be shopped this offseason by the Devils.
Not after 1 year, I don't think.
No. Yeah, give it one more year if they do not have a turnaround, which they
Because
will.
I mean, who else
not.
do they have other than Adam Henrique, for God's sakes? You know?
Schneider.
I mean, on
Schneider.
offense,
Oh,
though.
offense? No.
Yeah, no, they got nobody.
I mean, I just named the 3 people. I know.
I bet that was so bad.
So how's your bracket?
As of now, not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact, though, that, taught to me the Stanley Cup Finals, and then I'll see how bad it's doing. But
I thought mine was going to be way worse than it was, but I, for some stupid reason, I cringed when I wrote Montreal because I knew there was no chance of them winning.
see,
But I had Montreal, and me and Poetzy kept going back and forth about the Rangers, and I was like, the Rangers are gonna win. And he's like, no way, Carey Price, baby.
That was a Carey Price Lundqvist series. It was gonna come down.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It's Carey Price, yeah.
I felt.
But who's gonna score in Montreal? Nobody.
Yeah.
Who do you have on defense? Shea Weber. That's it. Which, I mean, Shea Weber, awesome.
Yeah,
but
what was Montreal doing at the deadline?
they did nothing. They were not thinking. They did not care. They were.
Do they want?
They were like, oh, we won't let any goals in, so maybe we'll get 2 goals and be win 2-0.
Did they just want to take every single fourth line grinder from every other team?
Yeah.
Like so they can.
Surprised they didn't pick up Boyle.
Taking my ball and going home. You guys can't have any.
Yeah. But yeah, I had them, and I had the Hawks. Sadly, winning the cup.
See, I know our group.
So
our little group bracket. I went.
But those are the only 2 I got wrong.
Yeah, but for my.
I got a lot wrong.
For my bracket, my bracket, the one that I wanted to see, I did pretty good.
Yeah. I
mean, I got the Hawks obviously wrong, and then who was the other? I think Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
Yeah, those are my only 2 I got wrong.
Yeah. And I heard people talking about Columbus, and people were saying, like, oh, like, that's such a tough series. I was like, no fucking way, dude. Pittsburgh's
I thought it was
so
going to be a
good,
lot
dude.
closer than it was, though.
No, I was like...
I know Pittsburgh is good.
Columbus...
And especially after Matt Murray went down before the first game even started, I was like, oh my God, they got to rely on Marc-Andre.
Oh, the 2-time Stanley Cup champion?
Let's be honest, 1-time Stanley Cup champion.
Playoff Flurry.
2-time.
But in real life, he's
playoff Flurry.
2-time.
Playoff Flurry is not good anymore. Until this year, apparently, because he played.
All you had to do was scare him a little bit. Apparently.
Yeah. Don't give him a chance to think about it.
Yeah.
Just throw him into the line of fire.
Hey kid, you're playing tonight. Oh fuck, okay. Sure thing, coach.
Okay. I did think that was going to be a lot closer than it actually was.
I didn't.
I still picked Pittsburgh in 7 though.
Yeah, I had
Pittsburgh. I think I had Pittsburgh in 5.
See, all the series I had going...
Well, aren't you perfect?
No, wait, was it 5?
Yeah, it was 5.
Oh, fuck me. No, I had 6. I had 6. I did have 6.
Yeah. You had your homeboy Toronto going out in 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. After watching game 1, I was like, fuck, no way. I was like, Leafs in 7, baby. But yeah, that's fucking... Oh, God. You guys gotta talk about the Hawks and all the Leafs? Come on.
Yeah, I know.
But, all right, so that's what happened in the playoffs so far. So it's Capitals, Pens, Ottawa.
Sid versus Ovi again.
Yeah.
Caps, Pens.
Ottawa
Rangers.
I feel...
Nashville, St. Louis.
Like, so there...
Anaheim, Edmonton, yeah.
There's a lot of people that are complaining about...
This app sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I just went online.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are complaining about how the bracket now is...
The playoff
format.
structure.
Okay,
the playoff format is stupid.
I don't like the
I don't like
format.
it. I don't like it either.
I like the typical 1 through 8.
Which, perfect example, Rangers.
The Rangers got screwed. Well, they didn't get screwed, but I mean, like...
They were almost better than Canadians, weren't they? They were right behind the Canadians.
Yeah.
And
they were better than Boston.
Which, I mean,
Ottawa.
they didn't get screwed
but, I mean,
because they matched up with Montreal. Montreal got screwed because they got matched up with the Rangers. Which,
but
I mean, you come in your first in your division.
When they got screwed 104 points, you don't have home ice advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's messed up.
I don't see why they don't go back to the 1 through 8, do the 2 top teams from each division, then after that it's points.
Yeah.
Just so you're guaranteeing that there's at least 2 teams in your division.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because look at the Capitals.
That's exactly the point that I was going to make.
Every year, they have the hands on one of the best teams, but then they have to go through Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, you could say that with St. Louis and Minnesota going through the Hawks.
Exactly.
And Nashville. And it's I understand they're trying to create rivalries, but there's still, those rivalries are there. And I'm so sick of seeing the same matchups every year.
6 games
and
in the
that,
regular season against the Blues. And
the best part about the Hawks, like not even 2 or 3 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, was that rivalry that they had with L.A. and
Arizona,
Vancouver, and Arizona. God, there was some nasty blood in that. I mean,
Shane Doan versus Taves.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And Vancouver, Kessler versus Ladd, Bieksa and I'm not sorry,
Eager. That huge fight in
Burroughs and Keith.
09.
The Rat.
Burroughs and Keith.
Yeah.
The Rat and the Sedins.
Yeah.
I mean, those were huge rivalries.
I feel like those get bigger rivalries than the in-division rivalries. And
absolutely.
It's way more fun to watch.
Stupid because the division rivalries, those are already there.
Oh, yeah.
You get those during the regular season.
You play those teams more than anybody else in the regular season, obviously.
Right. But the rivalries that are like... The rivalries that I enjoy the most are the ones where you're just like... I mean, we barely even see these guys. And
Hawks Ducks.
I hate them.
Hawks Ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the closest
2015?
thing. I don't even think I would call that a rivalry, though. It's the closest thing that the Hawks have to one outside of the Central, but
yeah,
I don't even think
the Ducks. I fucking hate the Ducks.
I mean, I don't know. I do feel bad for Washington though.
Like
because every year they have to go through Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Even when Ovechkin said that, he's like, "What's the point of being the top spot in the regular season when you have to go through the number 2 team to get to the next round? Like
to go play Ottawa or the Rangers.
They should have to go through each other, but it should be winner goes
in
to the
the conference
cup.
final.
Yeah, it should be winner goes to the cup, not winner goes for a chance to go to the cup.
It's like saying the 2014 year. Oh, Rangers, you did so well. Now you got to play the Kings.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
So lots of storylines coming out of the playoffs.
McJesus.
McJesus making his first run, killing it right now, throwing the body around.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I've never seen him throw a hit before.
Yeah, he can.
Damn, he could throw it with the best.
Knew how to hit.
Yeah.
Toronto taking Washington 6. Toronto, I mean, really giving Washington everything that they can handle.
That was the best series of the first round.
Absolutely.
It went 6. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected the Leafs to show up.
No.
It went 5 overtimes.
I mean,
Capitals had 2 more goals than the Leafs in the whole series. 2 goals, that's it.
I gave it 5 games because I gave Toronto the benefit of the doubt that they might win 1 at home.
Yeah.
That was my whole thinking, but wow.
And, I mean, Game 6, there was the tying goal for Washington barely sneaks through Anderson.
Yeah.
Barely gets through him to tie it up, and then they win in overtime. One of the overtime games, Freddie, the puck bounced, went between his legs, and he stood up.
Yeah.
And it was just laying there. If he would have just fallen back,
that was game.
Yeah.
No, that was game 1.
That was game 1.
Yeah,
that was game 1.
At the bar.
Yeah. And I mean, it's little bounces, but Toronto.
Is
next year Stanley Cup chance.
Is Freddie the goalie
next year?
Is Freddie the goalie for Toronto?
After this year, I don't see why not. I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be.
He's locked up for a decent amount of time, right?
I'm not sure.
Got it. Going on though with different storylines. You got up in Ottawa, Craig Anderson with everything that he's going through at home.
Yeah, that's just all year.
Yeah,
that's been a great story.
Of him seeing his wife at the end of the game.
That was awesome.
Was great.
And
felt bad for that guy though. That was with
yeah.
He's like hand out, and he just
I know.
walks.
Yeah.
Then he's like, okay, then.
Another story out of Ottawa. Clark MacArthur.
Oh my God.
Almost two whole
That's
seasons.
Amazing.
Without playing because of concussions.
Yeah.
And he comes back and does
and then he gets
all he did.
He was the one that got popped in training camp by some nobody.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And then Bobby Ryan fought.
Bobby Ryan flipped out.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Nashville. Gotta talk about Nashville.
Yeah,
Sweep
we don't
against
have
the
to
Hawks.
talk about him. We can mention it.
I mean,
undefeated right now.
Yeah, 5-0.
Jake Allen for St. Louis.
He's
the storyline.
Nashville winning it.
The cup.
Yeah. Over to Montreal, but
shows how well that's gonna go.
Yeah. Yikes.
But yeah, Jake Allen.
Who saw that coming? I thought Jake Allen was gonna choke.
Just St. Louis in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not really because they're down 1-0 in Nashville, and Minnesota was a joke of a team anyway.
Yes, they are. But, is there any coach in the league worse at hiding their emotions than Bruce Boudreau?
Is there anybody in the league worse than being in the playoffs than Bruce Boudreau?
I mean,
the guy who almost exploded,
and he.
It's like he ate.
It was that goalie interference call that probably should have gone their way, absolutely. Yeah. But the call comes and he was literally like.
It's like he ate fucking cherry. The cherry gum from Willy Wonka and just turned into a big cherry.
That's a perfect example.
That's exactly what he turned into.
Is he ever gonna get that, or is he just gonna be the guy that?
No. If I'm Minnesota, I'm shit cannon him. And no fucking team is picking him up.
If he wants to coach, he's got to be an assistant somewhere.
Or he's got to go to fucking Arizona or something like that. Like, there's
a rebuild.
Yeah, go to Buffalo.
I think he's a good coach. I just don't think he's a playoff coach.
He's a great regular season coach.
Yeah.
He's proved that.
He is not a playoff coach.
No,
not at all.
Yeah, he just can't figure it out in playoffs.
Back to the Leafs real quick. Freddie Anderson's making $5 million up until 2021.
So he's out for a couple.
Yeah. Also with Toronto, their long-term injured reserve, they've got $13.5 million.
And they didn't do
injured
anything
reserve
with it at the deadline.
Nathan Horton has 5.3 for the next 4 years. Joffrey Lupul has got 5.25 for the next 2. And Stefan Robidas has 3 that ends this year. And scrolling down, Brooks Lake has 3.5 that ends this year. Milan Mikalik has 3 at
Kessel.
At 3, and then Phil Kessel's 1.2 for the next 5.
Poor Brooks Lake, man. He came back from a long injury, played 2 games, and then got re-hurt and got thrown back on the injury.
How would you feel to be the guys that got bought out? Like Tim Gleason, Mikhail Grabovski, and Jared Cowan all got bought out.
Grabovski, he's having a good year.
No, he's Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers. Yeah, he's having a good year.
Very solid year.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'm getting.
No, that's Islanders. He's on the Islanders.
Who am I thinking of on the Rangers?
Oh, Gardner.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
What the fuck?
Hang on. Grabner.
Michael Grabner. That's it. Yes. Oh, good. The G's messed me up.
Mikhail Grabowski, Michael Grabner. It's all the same person. I know.
To be honest, I've always thought that was the same person. I think I picked one up in fantasy.
Oh, what, did he change his last name?
I think I honestly picked one up in fantasy thinking it was the other one.
And just watching that team play.
Yeah.
And wondering why I was 3 goals short or something.
So, yeah, those are all the stories so far.
So
I think the stories, yeah.
What is your favorite? You didn't mention Calgary.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go back to Calgary real quick, because those poor bastards. Brian Elliott screwed them hard.
Nah.
Are you kidding?
No. The Game 3. Either Game 3 or Game 4. They were up 4-1. Anaheim scores. Makes it 4-2. They score again on another goalie interference call. That was reviewed, and still called a good goal. Anaheim's buzzing because of that. They score 4-4, then win in overtime. They are like talking about the Hawks not having bounces. Holy fuck, yeah, Calgary had 0 bounces go their way whatsoever.
They also got the Weidman curse.
But I mean,
can't win in Anaheim either. What's it been?
11 years.
Yeah.
25 games or something like that.
Oh my god. I mean, it's gotten to the point to where like
it's just in their head.
They can't even be like, oh, it's funny. It's got to end soon, right? It's got to be like, oh shit.
They score 1 goal and they're like, oh motherfucker.
God damn it.
But I mean, they're a good story though too. I mean, they're
going to be good.
They're going to be great. Johnny Hockey. I mean,
Johnny Hockey, baby.
God.
How about Matthew Tkachuk?
God,
that fucking little grease ball.
Bring in like old
Drew Doughty
back.
I want opening night.
Shit out of him, man.
I want opening night.
L.A. Calgary.
In
Calgary.
Yes.
Fuck Tkachuk, because the timing of that shit was goddamn fantasy, and it was 1 hit short. Drew Doughty hit.
3 and 4, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
And Sean
Monahan.
He fucking tore it up for them in the playoffs.
Sean Monahan, he was like, he's
really
very quiet.
Like
he's sneaky.
Yeah.
He's
first
sneaky.
like 30 games or so, he wasn't doing much, but then it just kicked for him.
I feel like everybody on that team is sneaky.
Yeah.
They can all just pop up and just score a bunch of Genos.
Can you imagine what a Ginla could do for that team, just on a teaching standpoint?
Yeah. Hossa on the Hawks in 2010.
They got a pretty decent back end, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Giordano's
back there. Hamilton, Dougie Hamilton. All right, Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton's back there.
What was Boston thinking on that?
I from what I recall, it was between Hamilton and Torrey Krug. One of them had to go. Mm-hmm. And I would pick Torrey Krug any day.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't go wrong.
They're both out right now.
Yeah.
So.
So what would you say your guys' best story for the regular season?
regular season?
Yeah.
Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews.
So is it Austin Matthews in general, or Austin Matthews, scoring the game-winning goal in the Centennial?
Or the 4 goal night?
Yeah, the 4 goal night to start the career.
Yeah.
That kid, if he doesn't win Calder...
40 goal scorer?
He does not
Nobody expected 40.
No.
He does not win Calder.
Rigged.
They interviewed Zach Orensky, and he was like, "Yeah, do you want me to help you with like your
acceptance speech?
Yeah, sure. Like, I can help you write it out if you want." Like they all know that it's gonna be awesome.
No, Lonnie still is like little Finnish fuck. It's not like, oh, I got this.
God, is he ugly? He's like Datsuk ugly. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a storyline for there. I miss Datsuk.
Yeah. That's my storyline. Detroit not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's
25 years.
The first time in my life I did not see Detroit playoffs.
And it's
only did that
the best feeling.
Not only did the streak go down, but that shit was flushed down the toilet and hit with the plunger like 800 times. That was
fucking clogged in the toilet.
That was
Nobody
bad.
had a plunger to get it out.
That was really bad. And Jimmy Howard was up at the top in like almost all the goalie categories. But honestly, that bastard can't stay healthy.
I don't see them being out for that long. Because they have really good
Mantha
prospects.
Oh my God, Greek guy.
Athanasiou?
Athanasiou. Oh my God.
That kid's got some hands.
He's got some filthy hands.
A couple times he goes, it's like Datsuk.
Yeah.
A couple times with him. But he's in that Datsuk for that team.
Does Zetterberg come back?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know
At least one more.
He's their captain now. And I mean, he showed a lot more frustration this year than I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's never had emotion.
Not just like emotion. Yeah. Just pure anger.
He's going to come back and they'll talk him into coming back because the first year at the new arena, they're going to want...
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true.
That's a good point. That's going to be a sick arena.
I can't wait.
That place is going to be amazing. It's like a little neighborhood over there.
They're rebuilding Detroit for it over there.
Yeah. God, it's amazing.
It's going to be right next to the ballpark, too, the Tigers ballpark.
So,
what about yours?
My storyline for the regular season, I got to say just... Toronto, just because I had so much interest in that. They screwed me, but it was fun watching it.
Hope you enjoy those Smirnoffs, bud.
On a biased note, you can't overlook Hosa's season this year as a pretty big story.
Yeah, he came back.
As a biased Hawk fan.
He came back and scored and just looked like the old Hoss again.
He did.
Which is amazing to watch, and it's so much fun.
Some of the things that he could do while protecting the puck.
One
of my favorite...
Hossa protecting the puck and coming out with the puck is equivalent to Datsuk without the puck stealing the puck away. Mm-hmm. And I can't
my very favorite
either of those.
Marian Hossa Blackhawk moment is not when he won the game in Game 5 against Nashville. Although that was sick and that Sully was amazing. But was his setup Game 6 against Vancouver to send it to Game 7 when Ben Smith scored the game-winning overtime goal. He literally had the puck in the zone for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Just spinning around in circles, getting space, waiting for the guys to set up, dropped it off to Jarom, and they scored. It was unreal.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I just remember Hossa when it was the first game this season he was on Detroit.
Two shorties.
And they go to the shootout and he takes the clapper at the freaking hash mark. I'm just like,
all
I can think is, fuck that dude. He's a piece of shit.
I thought you were talking about his first game with the Hawks.
No, when he was on Detroit and it was that first game, he just hits clapper at the blue line,
at the hash mark,
and Boone doesn't even react.
That's patented now, right?
I know.
Well, that and when he did it against,
I
think it was Arizona, and he hit the crossbar and it went out, and I was just like, what? That's literally the only way a goalie can save that. Like, there's no other way of stopping that.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's some great storylines this year.
Yeah, there are.
Playoff storylines, though, too. What's your favorite moment from the playoffs so far?
Favorite moment?
If there is one. I mean, I know it's early. It's
all the OT games.
Yeah.
Breaking the record.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
one game went to... That one series went to 7 games.
Yeah.
And every game is just so good, too. There's not... I feel like... other than the San Jose blowout, that was the only game that wasn't close, I feel.
Game 2.
Yeah, but I mean, it was close for a while, though, like, until about the third, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think for me, just all the playoff games or
Overtime
games.
Yeah, all the playoff games and playoffs. That's my favorite story.
Playoffs, this is the best story. Gotta keep it general.
Yeah.
How about you?
Don't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite series is Toronto-Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the only one that might rival that right now is Pittsburgh Capitals.
I feel like
And
we
it's been
got a
one
little
game.
spoiled with that one, though. I think, like, from here on out, it's just gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
Well,
nothing as good as that.
Because there's
That's
no,
what
I mean,
playoff hockey should be. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like there's no underdog team right
I
now.
don't feel like I've seen like a true playoff atmosphere game in a while.
Yeah.
And that entire series was just edge of your seat the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, what was this? Oh, let's see if I can find the stats. I sent you guys.
Give it up for the Toronto fans, too. 20,000 strong standing in Maple Leaf Square watching the game.
Yeah, that's
That's amazing. I mean,
that's amazing.
and no flip cars. Screw you, Vancouver.
And the clip of when the Caps won, there was 3 Caps fans in front of that,
Yes.
and not a single one of them got beat up or injured
So
or thrown
Canadian.
at.
So Canadian.
That's the way it should be, though.
Here.
It-
So the
should be.
Capitals Toronto series, 6 1-goal games, 5 overtime games. Goals were 18-16 in Washington's favor. Shots, Toronto 213, Washington 212. Like
And that one game that wasn't a 1-goal game was only because there was an empty
no,
net.
they were all 1-goal games, weren't they?
No, there's one empty. No, yeah, there was an empty net, and they came back and scored.
Oh, they did score.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
All 6 games was 1
Yeah.
goal. 5
That's dumb.
overtimes in that
That's
series. alone.
dumb.
That's awesome. That just shows where the Leafs are going to be at.
Like that's scary. How good Toronto can be.
It's not that scary.
No,
it's
it is
pretty
scary.
awesome.
No, it's awesome. But
No,
I mean,
it's scary for me because I gotta buy you a jersey. if you win.
But it's also scary though. I mean, this is a long way down the road. Look at all them 9 rookies. All contracts are gonna
Yeah.
come up around the same time.
For them, yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah, that's gonna
interesting.
suck.
But they also have,
Especially if you got Marner,
30 draft
you know.
picks in the next 3
But
years,
if you
so they're
also
going to
if you
have
got
those
Marner,
guys, man.
Matthews, and Nylander all putting up the same points,
Oh,
that's gonna be a
God.
lot of money going to those 3.
Taves, Kane, and Seabrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's gonna be interesting. They gotta hope to God that they get a better salary.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Kane and Tate set the bar now with that 10,
Yeah.
10 and a half, whatever.
You mean it wasn't Lettinen and Niemi setting the bar down there in Dallas with their $10 million each?
No, they're 10 million each.
They're up there, though.
Their total's 10.
it's
Combined,
stupid.
it's 10. Yeah, they're paying $5 million for 2 goalies.
I mean,
each
for 2
$10
just
million.
mediocre.
horrific goaltender.
Hey,
not
man, it worked out
horrific,
for him.
I feel so
boy.
like I feel bad for Niemi just because of.
I don't.
remember like
I don't. I mean, he won the cup. He had a solid 5 or 6 years starting with San Jose. I mean, and plus when he won the cup with the Hawks, it's not like he was exactly young.
yeah, I know, but
No.
I just
It's not like he was exactly good.
stories you hear from Niemi off the ice is like wow,
Yeah, I know.
Like, I miss
Started
him.
as a Zamboni driver in Finland. Just ended up coming
Or
over.
when they won the Stanley Cup in 2010 and they were at bars on Michigan Avenue and they realized the cup and Niemi were gone. So they
He
go
was
out looking
running
for
down
him,
Michigan
and He's
Ave.
walking down Michigan Avenue, cup over his head, just
I never
walking
heard
down the
that story.
street,
Yeah.
and
That's amazing.
nobody was with him. Not a fan, nothing. He just
Yeah.
walked on his own, hands up.
Boy,
like-
that's dangerous in the city of Chicago these days.
Not
It's like
Michigan
when
Avenue.
we take a lap with the flag around the block when the Cubs won, and
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Or him taking Chinese Christmas literal and bought a Chinese samurai sword because he thought it was a Chinese Christmas. So I was like,
Oh,
okay.
poor auntie.
Lost in translation.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that was our show. That was episode 1. That was
Well, before normally at this point we would take some questions.
Oh crap! I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
we would take
go
some
ahead.
questions. We don't have any because obviously we're just starting this off.
Mhm.
So
Plus, if we took questions, this would be even longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yes, sorry about that.
So yeah. So
Sorry.
if you made it this long into it,
Uh-huh.
just know that if you have any hockey related questions you want to ask us,
Or personal.
or personal, yeah.
Just remember, I went to Europe.
You can send them to our Facebook, which is the Windy City Bender Podcast. Our Twitter at WCB
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you can slide in the DMs on Instagram. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Send us a story on there. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
But and on Twitter, if you did have questions, you could hashtag Ryan Pine.
Ryan Pine.
Yes.
So.
Because that's what we do best.
Yep.
Ryan
Out
Pine.
in Europe, eh?
That's exactly what I did in Europe. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, that was the first episode, and thanks for checking us out.
Yeah. Hope to see you
More to
guys next week.
Follow the guys on Twitter at WCBP, on Instagram, WCBPodcast, and like them on Facebook, The Windy City Benders Podcast. The Windy City Benders Podcast.